Without further ado, we're going to have the guests introduce themselves. So please, starting with you, we'll have you tell us your name, age, location, so where you're from, and occupation. Go ahead.
Hi guys, my name is Cindy Zhang. I am a model, actor, streamer, and a lot of other stuff.
I'm Maddie. I'm from Atlanta. I'm 19 and I do OnlyFans.
I'm Naomi. I'm 25. I'm from Scottsdale and I do OnlyFans.
My name's Sophie. I'm 21. I'm still figuring out my occupation, but I'm from Atlanta and I just moved to San Diego.
Hi, I'm Nicolette. I'm 24. I do OnlyFans. I'm a stripper, and I'm from Orange County, California.
Hi, I'm Mia. I am 21. I'm from LA and I do OnlyFans.
Hello, my name is Madison Vu. I'm 19 years old. I'm a full-time student at Santa Barbara City College at the moment. I work on the Whatever podcast as well as the Rosewood Miramar.
I'm Michael Knowles. I am a cigar salesman, and I do not yet do OnlyFans. And I don't intend to. I don't think I would do very well on it, but I certainly don't now.
There's a market for everything.
If you collaborate with me,
I don't know.
I'll
My
make
priest
sure your
might not
business
totally.
is skyrocketing.
Oh, well, okay. In that case, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. All right. Going around the table once more, what is everybody's current relationship status? So, are you single, talking stage, situationship, friends with benefits, relationship, married, polycule, sex cult? If you're single, how long have you been single? What's your longest relationship? Go ahead.
I am single, so any of you guys that are watching, hit my line. But my longest, maybe like half a year. Haven't really dated long term.
I'm single. I've been single for a little over a year. My longest relationship was...
I'm single. I've been single for a little bit over 2 years, but yeah.
I'm single. I just broke off an engagement. My longest relationship is probably 2 years on and off.
When did you break off the engagement?
Like a month ago.
A month ago. What happened there?
I think it just came down to compatibility and the other person not knowing what they wanted. When we started dating, he was originally a woman, and then after the engagement, he transitioned into a man. So I think it was something that just, we weren't compatible.
Wait, so you said he was originally a woman. So born female?
Born female, transitioned to male.
So you were dating a female initially and engaged to a female?
Yes, I'm not sure the most respectful way to put it. But when we started dating, he said, I'm a woman, I want to be treated like a woman. And then he transitioned.
Well, wouldn't it have been she said, if we're talking past tense? Well, actually, I'm not sure on this one.
I think now they say whatever you change to, that's the one you always were.
Even if you're talking like it's a like
Caitlyn Jenner won the men's decathlon. She did a great job. That's what they want you to say. I think.
Now
Okay.
he prefers to be called he.
The most respectful way to put it is to use their chosen pronouns.
Okay, even when...
So it didn't start off that way, but now he prefers to be called he, so she respects that.
But if you're talking about something in the past...
Can you retroactively change it?
He said X, but at that point he was a she. So then would it not? Could you say she?
I think everyone's opinion is different, and it's just what is most respectful to the person and what they prefer.
And so midway through your relationship, she wanted to become a man.
Midway, like halfway through the engagement, one day, out of nowhere, he said, I'm a man, I'm going to start my transition, I'm going to get on testosterone, you're on board or not.
Where did that come from?
I genuinely don't know, because it wasn't talked about ever before that. It was just kind of one day, it was like, this is what's happening.
Did you ask? Were you just like, well, sure, sir?
I definitely was interested in getting, knowing why and when he made that decision, and he said he had talked to past exes about the transition, and they were basically like, if you transition, I'm gonna break up with you. And that wasn't my position on it. I just was kind of like, why would you not bring this up before you asked me to marry you?
Okay.
Biologically, does he still have a vagina?
Respectfully, I'm not gonna talk about
Oh,
his.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you, in terms of your sexuality, are you bisexual? Are you straight? Are you lesbian?
I think I'm still figuring it out, but I think I'm bisexual, leaning mostly towards women.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Nicolette, what about you?
I'm single. My longest relationship, 7 years, and I've been single for almost 2 years.
Okay.
I am single. I've been single for about a year, and that's it. Wait, sorry.
I'm not single. I'm in a beautiful, lovely, committed relationship with my boyfriend, Frankie. My current relationship is my longest relationship. It's about a year and 5 months.
I'm married with children. I have been married for 5.5 years. I dated my now wife again starting like age 21, 22, but we dated the first time when we were 16 to 18. We basically, everyone told us we had to break up for college, and then we got back together at the end of college. And we met when we were 10 or 11.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
That's really cute.
Yeah. So that's my longest relationship, you know, because that's most of my
That
life.
doesn't. That did not. Hold on, Cindy. That did not sound very
What?
authentic when you said
I thought that was sincere.
Oh, that's very cute.
Was that not sincere?
Yeah, I
thought
don't
it was
want that.
sincere.
I thought it was cute.
No, it was
I think it's
sincere.
cute.
I thought it was.
It's
It
cute.
was.
You're
I
talking
looked- I
about my
looked-
brand ambassador for Mayflower Cigars here. She wouldn't. She wouldn't be
Okay,
facetious.
all right. She
You guys
do
have
that,
kids?
We do.
How many?
2.5.
Boy or girl?
So we got 2 boys. Then the one that's cooking, we don't quite know. We're not going to find out yet.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
That's
So
big.
it'd be nice to have a daughter so that someone would take care of me and my wife in our old age and, be like nice to us and things. But I don't know. My wife thinks perhaps the new one is a boy. And I think I'm so teeming with testosterone and Y chromosomes and virility. I don't know that I would succeed at producing a daughter, but we're trying. So,
Quick question.
Yeah.
Why does she have to be a girl to take care of you in old age? Why couldn't your sons do that?
Look, they could, but I'm just knowing how
Women
men
are more like caretaker.
They are is the thing. Look, it'd be nice if they didn't shove us in a home. I'm just looking at statistics
I
and
think
probability.
they'll take care of you either way.
But
That's your
very
kids.
look,
That's your kids.
that's very sweet of you to say, and I hope you're right.
Me
But I
too.
don't want to bet on that. I want to cover my bases.
Well, maybe you'll get a daughter. Who
I
knows?
might.
Actually, Michael adopted me, so I'm going to take care of
Thank
you.
you.
In
Thank
your
you.
actually, wait, how
Thank
old
you,
are
son.
again?
33.
Oh, I'm actually older than you, so I don't know that. I don't know how that works out.
The last
You can
panel I
adopt
was
him
on,
then.
the gals came up to me after. They said, "Michael, we thought you were much older than you are." I said, "What does that mean?" She goes, "Oh man, I thought you were like 50 or something." I was like, "Well, that's very insulting. Why would you?" She said, "No, I'm just saying, man. You don't give millennial vibes. You're like a big boomer." And she was just insulting me right to my face. I go, yeah, it's outrageous.
You don't look old though.
Thank you.
You look
No,
great.
You have
Thanks,
really
stop.
pretty
Yeah.
skin.
What'd you say?
I said you have really pretty skin.
Flawless.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, shout out
Right
the
next to
skincare
it.
routine.
Yeah,
It's
drop
good.
it.
Yeah, drop the
Drop
skincare
it.
routine for all the girls.
All right, so skincare routine. Number 1, you got to descend from Italians, so you have to produce olive oil just on your face all the time, and then you should shower, regularly, and that's about it.
Wow, simple.
Yeah, simple.
Give
I'm
us a
half
man.
Italian. I guess I got like half that gene.
Yeah,
but
you've got great skin.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm curious because aside from Madison and Michael here, it sounds like all of you are single.
Yeah.
So, what does being single in 2020? Is it 2024?
24?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2024.
What does that actually mean? What does that look like? So, Cindy and the rest of you, you've been single. Come on. There's guys in the picture, right?
No.
I don't know, the way you kind of darted your eyes a little bit makes me question if that's true.
No, there isn't. I just been working.
No guys in the picture. So if I told you that somebody DM'd me after your last appearance and said, well, actually, I've been romantically involved with Cindy, that wouldn't...
What?
I'm just kidding. Nobody did that. I'm just
like,
kidding.
who?
Okay.
Snoop Dogg? I don't know.
Who? Snoop Dogg? What?
Did he DM you? I'm
Oh,
just kidding.
no, but another rapper did. Anyways, well, what about you? So you're single, right? But and when we say single, like, let's also include situationships, sneaky links, friends with benefits.
What's a sneaky link?
Ladies, want to help me out on this one?
It's a person you sneakily link with.
And by
Yeah.
link,
That makes sense.
On the low.
Yeah, you're just like
'Cause you're not-
just
you're
like
ashamed of
low
it?
key about it. You don't care
Yeah.
about like. It's not like you're gonna date the person, but it's cool if you hang out.
What's the difference between that and a friend with benefits?
Basically the
It's
same
the same
thing, but like
thing.
keep it a secret.
Is it more sneaky?
There's more.
Why is it
Link
more
is
sneaky?
more
Because the
like-
person is more shameful?
It's just more. No, it's just
It's
you don't
just
want
the new
everyone
term.
knowing
It's
your
just
business.
like
It's
the
just low
new,
key.
like, you know what I mean? New
That's
term.
yeah.
It's like you don't pop out together, but you leave together.
Yeah, that's what
That's what it's.
what a devastating description that would be.
It
It's
is.
like, you don't pop out together,
It
but she
is.
leaves with you. You know?
It is. That's exactly what happens. Like I swear, that's exactly what happens. But it sucks.
So now that we've got
I'm
some
not,
definitions.
I don't like. I'm not talking to anyone at the moment though.
Nobody.
No.
Zero.
Single.
Single.
Yeah, very single.
So, okay, I'll go around the table on this, but what about you? Nothing in the picture.
Nothing in the picture, but I mean, we all get DMs. We're all cute girls. We all get DMs and stuff. We have options, but no, I don't entertain anything right now. I'm just trying to work and grind out.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. What about you?
I'm currently single, not looking.
Remind me, how recently was the breakup of the engagement?
It was like a little bit over a month ago, but then
Okay. How long were you guys dating for?
not long enough.
How long?
We probably got engaged like 4 months after we started dating. So that was my first mistake. I will say that.
Okay. Who proposed?
It was kind of, both of our leases were ending at the same time, and he was like, I really want to move in together. I really want to take this to the next step. I was like, I really don't. And then finally I agreed to move in together. We were getting more serious, and he was like, hey, well, I don't want to move in with you unless we're engaged. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not ready to commit my whole life to you right now. So,
Okay.
and then he was like, it can be a long engagement. Like, we can take our time. We can figure things out as we go. And I was like, okay, sure, I like you.
I see. Okay. Is anybody, so you're bi, right? Anybody
Something
else
like
here
that.
bi? Sexual?
I'm straight as a line. Straight.
But I make
Irish.
fun girl
as a
content.
line.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like
Just for content.
self promotion.
How about, okay, so who's for content? When you're making your content, okay. What about
Y'all want to
actual?
collab?
What about
Looking for someone
all
close to
collab
collab with.
after
Let's
this.
run it.
Hell yeah.
what about for actual romantic interest?
No.
Interpersonal romantic. Okay.
Well, I think women are beautiful.
Yeah,
and like
women
I'm
are
attracted.
sexy.
I love
Sure.
boobs.
I love
But
Okay.
like, okay,
I love
but like,
boobs.
I'm not attracted to women.
Y'all just
like
had
that.
Jasmine on here. That's my co-host on Thoughts with Thoughts.
I'm just
Thoughts with thoughts.
That's our podcast.
THOT. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Question for you: how many first dates have you been on with a woman?
Oh my God. Like 10?
Oh, 10. So,
I don't know, maybe.
question: who pays? I'm just curious. Like if it's you get dinner, who pay? If it's two women, who pays?
Yeah, like I think when I'm with a woman, personally, I think it should be equal effort-wise. A lot of times I offer to pay if it's going well, or I offer to split it. But one thing I like about relationships with women is there's not as much pressure with that kind of thing. So it kind of like gives you the opportunity to get to know someone without like, okay, who's paying or who's taking who out. It's kind of more like a friendship at the beginning.
Okay.
interesting.
So you guys just split the bill, or?
I mean, in my experience, like, if it's going really well, like, sometimes I'll offer to pay, or sometimes the other person will offer to pay. It kind of just depends.
And do you have a different standard when, like, if you're going on a date with a guy? Does your standard change then?
I have never, since I was like 14 or 15, I've never subjected myself to going on a date knowingly with a man.
What do you mean by
but
subject?
What do you mean by
yourself?
knowing?
Yeah.
I just don't really enjoy it. I just don't really, I mean, and maybe my position will change. Like, if I really, really like a guy, I could see myself pursuing it into the relationship stage, but I've just never really gotten to that point with a guy, and I've never really chosen to go on a date with a guy over a woman.
Why, when you say starting at 14, that's when I swore off men.
It wasn't swore off men, but I feel like middle school and my freshman year of high school, I'd have those cute little flings. It doesn't mean anything. You don't really do anything. You just kind of hang out. And once I got to the puberty point, I realized I liked women, and that was the end of that. But I feel like the older I get, the less closed off I get to potentially pursuing a relationship with a man, but I think it would just have to be something like a situation that stood out to me enough that I liked that person enough, and it just hasn't.
You haven't met
happened.
Mr. Right.
Wait, question. Was the precipitating factor of the end of your engagement because of the transition of your partner?
Totally, right?
I don't think
I'm not
that
sure.
it wasn't because of the transition of my partner. I feel like it was because of his failure to disclose certain things to me and make things look a certain way and then turn out a different way.
Right.
I feel like that it just caused a lot of trust issues because I'm like, if you thought about this a year ago and you say you want to marry me and spend the rest of your life with me, then why would you not tell me this?
Did it just
Right.
feel like betrayal?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, and you mentioned that they knew this before. Or he
And
knew this
before-
before you guys even got together.
Yeah, and before I was more in like, I was convinced I was a lesbian. And I very well might be, but I'm just not as closed off to potentially letting a relationship with a man happen.
What would that even mean, though? If you say, like, I'm open to dating men, but I might be a lesbian. What does that even mean in that circumstance? Didn't you just say I'm obviously not a lesbian?
I don't really like labels because I think I'm so young and I'm still figuring it out, and I haven't like been on enough dates with guys to say I would never end up with a man.
Yeah.
But I just prefer not to.
It's just kind of
I'm
interesting.
not really attracted to anything men have to offer. Honestly.
Yeah, well, me neither. But it's sort of
So you can
interesting.
understand.
I can. I really empathize with you. But it's odd to say, like, okay, here's what I'm doing, and here's my behavior, and I'm open to going on a date with a guy. And I haven't really gone on any dates with guys, but maybe secretly, deep down, I'm a lesbian. But the way I think about what I really am, I think like, well, I am the things that I do, and I do things that I desire, and I desire things as I know them, and it's sort of just like, you know.
It's not really deep down I'm secretly a lesbian. It's just that I feel like I don't have enough experience being with men to classify myself as a lesbian. And I'm still figuring it out. I'm a very open person, and I feel like subjecting myself to labels makes it harder to be open to new situations.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids.
Okay. But if your partner ends up being a woman, would you adopt? Would you do a surrogacy?
I think that'd be something I talk about with my partner and see
Okay.
what they're comfortable with. But
Sure.
I think no matter what we do, I mean, I'm open to a lot of different
Okay.
options.
Got it. Nick, by the way, to the whatever Instagram, I sent a Twitter video that I tweeted out a while ago related to the who should pay thing that's kind of somewhat related to this. But moving on, so, okay, Nicolette, single, but come on, you got a sneaky link maybe, right? Sneaky link,
No.
nothing.
It's
Come
hard
on.
out here.
It's hard out here? Why is it hard out here?
Guys just like suck in bed.
Oh,
So I'm like, I
they
don't even want to
bad in
like
bed. Okay.
try and like be disappointed and just catch an extra body.
True.
So I'm just like, have my Hitachi.
There seems to be some concurring.
Yes, it's true.
What's a Hitachi?
What's a
It's a
Hitachi?
giant vibrator.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of the Japanese dinner place where they throw the shrimp in your mouth.
It's
Oh,
a-
hibachi.
Hibachi.
Very hot.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It sounds like a lot of the women, concurred with her position that, well, why even add another sexual partner?
Reuse and
When you
recycle
get
at
married.
this
Because
point.
Right.
not
Seriously.
even getting sexually pleasured.
And you can do it better
Seriously.
yourself.
Yeah,
when you have your...
yeah, literally.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's it. That's the primary reason you're single, Nicole, is the men are just terrible in bed. Is that it?
Well, that's not why I'm single. That's just why I don't have like a sneaky link.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what's okay then? Why are you single?
I'm single because I'm doing like active sex work and it's just like harder to date. And I just like want to focus on me. And once I'm at where I want in my career and financially, then I'll be able to date.
Would you give that up to date someone?
If someone's willing to like fund my life, then yeah.
Why do you have to look for someone to fund your life?
Because why would I quit what I'm doing that makes me like so much money?
Well, if what you're doing is preventing you from having something that you would desire and would make you happy, then you might say, look, okay, I can make more money stripping or whatever, but maybe I'll make double what I can make stripping, or I could make half of what I make stripping working at a Starbucks or something. But,
I don't want to work at a Starbucks. Like no woman wants to work, to be honest.
So you want to find a man and get married? And
Yeah, I'll be a housewife.
But if
I'll
you're
clean
saying
and cook.
if you're no, that's all great. That's awesome. But so if what you're saying is doing your current job is preventing you from doing that, shouldn't the first thing you do be to quit that job?
No.
Why not?
I'm young. I was in a relationship for 7 years, from like 15 to 22. So I just want to like experience the single life, and I like it. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
I thought what you were saying was I do want to date someone, and I do want to be a housewife, and I want someone to cook for. So if you want those things, then that means you probably don't want the single stripper life, because those things are mutually opposed, right?
Yeah, I think I'll probably like date in my 30s.
And that's kind of putting it off a while, right? Don't you want to like have kids and
Not right now.
No, 30s.
No. Yeah.
It's tougher to have kids in your 30s.
I'm fertile.
And you did say that you would be, if I have it correct, you would be willing to date if the man was prepared to provide for your lifestyle?
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking here in terms of numbers? He's got to make how much?
Well, if I'm gonna be like a stay-at-home like wife, I'm gonna need like my car payment, all my bills, like hair, makeup, basically like everything.
But
and that costs a lot, and no one like
does it? What if your husband said, you don't need all that stuff?
Then he's not the right guy.
It's not the man for her.
You've already got the guy though, so why continue with the...
Yeah, why do you need to get your hair done if you already got that? The point of getting your hair done, right, is to go like meet a nice guy.
No, to look good for my guy, if I had one.
Right, but if he's saying, well, I just don't have the cash, so you might have to skip your twice a week hair appointment.
Sorry, babe, I'm gonna spread my holes on the internet.
Whoa.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, that's straight up.
Yeah,
Good
my wife's
times.
never said that to me. But then again, I don't tell her she can't go to the hair appointment. So how about that?
Yeah.
Before we move on here, I had that video that I wanted to pull up. So Nick, if you're able to pull it up, did you find it? Go ahead. Oh, wait, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
No
Let the
way.
audio play. Go ahead.
So cute.
That looks funny.
That's so funny.
Okay. Has that been your experience on dates with women?
I sent that video to my best friend, but no.
Okay. All right.
Do you feel like who invites you should pay, or like whoever is the one that like comes up with the plan? Because I kind of feel that way in
I feel
general.
like that's just kind of courtesy.
Like if I were to
we talked
invite
about
my
this
man,
one,
I'd be like, okay, like I could pay. Like if like
Yeah, I think that if
I invited you somewhere,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think that if I were to take the time to plan out a date and decide what we were doing and where we were going, I'd definitely feel obligated to pay.
In your last
Sure.
relationship, who paid for the most of the things? Would you
In
say?
my last relationship, my ex-fiance paid for most of the things,
Okay.
I'd say.
I also feel like in lesbian relationships, there's always someone that is a little more the masculine partner and a little more the feminine partner.
I do
wouldn't you
agree with
say?
that, but in most of my relationships, and all of them actually, I've been the more feminine one, and in most of my relationships, I've paid for more and taken on that role.
Interesting.
Really, we won't linger too long on the who should pay debate, but you mentioned that, well, whoever asks ought to pay. So going around the table, who agrees with that? Whoever asks, they should pay for the date.
I think that's
I don't
fair.
think like ought to, but like if
Well,
I don't know, if I invite my man, like I would just
well, let's
be
say
okay
first
with
dates.
paying.
Let's talk
first date. No,
First dates.
a man got to pay for the first
Yeah.
A
date.
man got to pay
Yeah.
for the first date.
If he's
Yeah.
pursuing me
Yep.
and taking me out,
If I'm on a first date
Yeah.
and they look at me like, pay this, I'm walking out. I'm
You're-
walking out.
That's
No.
you're walking out.
you won't hear from me
I'm
again.
done.
You should walk
I'm done, and you can stay and figure that
I
out for
agree.
yourself. That's not my business to handle. Like, sorry.
Wait, so going around the table, I just want to get everybody's answer. Who should
The guy
pay?
definitely.
Okay.
The man.
I answered mine.
Wait, was that always?
Well, you could
though?
just restate your.
Yeah, you know how I feel. But was
Wait,
Cindy?
well, I want to get everybody's
Oh,
answers.
sorry.
I wouldn't say.
I was just clarifying.
Not always. I feel like once you guys get to know each other, we could like go split half and half. But I feel like the guys I've dated, they've always wanted to pay for me.
Me
They
too.
would never be like, oh, like they would
too.
never let me pay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
If I planned something and I said I wanted to go here, I want to bring you here, and I want to do this, I'm gonna pay for that. But any other way,
Sure.
it's on you.
Yeah.
Nicolette?
So I'm not gonna pay. The man should pay, whether it's the first date or the 10th date, unless we're like, dating for a while, like exclusively. Then
Yeah.
like we can split sometimes.
Okay. Sure. Mia, what about you?
I think on the first date, yes, the man should pay. I also think that if it is just a long-term relationship, then yes, you guys can share payments and share that. I think that's just the overall, just you don't, I'm not a housewife. I
Okay.
can afford my bills, so.
Yeah.
Do men like when you kind of like treat them sometimes? You're like, I got you, babe.
No, not really.
No?
I don't.
They don't.
I mean, I don't know. I'm married, so it's not like I'm going on
Yeah.
dates and stuff. But
That's
I mean,
true.
maybe if they're broke.
I differ a little on this.
I feel like that could be cute once in a while. Like,
Wait,
a
why
girl
don't
be
you
like,
don't
I
go
wanna
on
treat
dates?
you.
Why do you not go on dates?
because I'm married and my wife would object to that. She probably wouldn't
She
take
wouldn't be
kindly to
fond
it.
of
I thought y'all were making content together. I'm confused.
I know. Well, I appreciate
said
the
okay.
offer. But I must decline.
Making
So I
content
go like my wife and I go to dinner. But I wouldn't call that like a date. I'm not going to go. I'm not like picking up a chick.
But
down the
making
street.
content together doesn't mean dating.
Well, my wife and I don't make content together either. I kind of do my podcast. I've
I'm offering like a work. You're like my work partner.
you and I are work
Yeah, we're
partners.
work partners.
Again, I mean, listen. I'm going to have to clear it with
wife.
my domestic partner back home. I don't think she's going to take very happily to it.
Yeah.
But even when we were dating, my wife would offer to pay, but I don't like it. I feel it feels kind of gay. Yeah. It feels like I'm the man, and even at points in my life where I haven't had a lot of money, I still feel like the man should hold the door, hold
Yeah.
the car door, hold the restaurant door,
Yes.
pull the seat out, and pay
Well,
for
that's
the bill.
just chivalry.
Yeah. Who says it's dead? Not me.
Then just,
No,
that's hot,
romance
but
is not.
Okay. And then, so on the conversational thread we were having, I think it was one of you two who said, well, whoever asks, they should pay, right?
yeah.
Okay. And so, who agrees with that? Maybe just show of hands, whoever asks should pay? Or you
Is it a long-term relationship?
No,
are we
first
talking
date,
about
first date, yeah.
Oh, first
Man.
date?
First
That's
date.
a man. Sorry.
Man.
You gotta
No,
clarify,
no.
Brian.
Okay.
But I'm not asking a man on a date.
Yeah, I'm not
so,
asking
like,
a man on a first
Well,
date.
yeah, that's my kind of rebuttal to the whoever asks should pay, because it sort of
Yeah.
ignores the fact that in the vast majority of
I will never
circumstances,
ask
the
a man on a
man
date.
is
Yeah.
gonna, yeah. Okay, so there's a couple threads I wanted to just wrap on here quick, but so all of you, it sounded like, want the man to pay for the first date, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Except, well, you don't really date men, so you didn't weigh in
But you
on
might.
on it.
Probably not.
If you did, though, would you want the man to pay?
Not necessarily.
Fair enough. But you, just a question for you. You don't do adult content at all, do you? No. Okay, but all besides Madison and Michael and myself,
For
everyone
now.
else here does do adult content to varying degrees of nudity, I guess you could say. My question for you then is, you have a rather traditional expectation of men, but please don't be offended. I would argue that being involved in pornography is rather non-traditional. So how do you reconcile expecting traditional treatment from men when you guys are engaged in a very non-traditional occupation and behavior?
It's work. So for
Okay.
me, originally, I actually worked in the tech industry for 2.5 years, and I was doing hands on the low. Naomi's not my legal name. I just did that because I didn't want to get fired, because I
Okay.
was pretty high up in a tech company.
Sure.
And then I just decided one day, I was like, why am I making people millions of dollars when I can make myself millions of dollars?
Well, I'm not asking you to justify why you do the work that you do.
But, like-
I'm asking why you have. I would assume that you would not categorize yourselves as traditional women.
By no means.
My point was, like, I was traditional, and no one knew
What?
about this other side of
Sure.
me, right? So
Well,
like,
how long have you been doing this?
like a year.
Okay. So my question is that none of you are traditional women, yet you have very traditional expectations of men. How do you reconcile that?
I think for myself, I've been in long-term relationships alongside my job, and how I reconciled with that was simply being very upfront with the realities that I was going to always make more income in that relationship. And for that reason is why I say with long-term relationships, I wouldn't expect that man to pay for everything. And I know that you agree that men should be paying for most everything.
Yeah.
And I do agree that depending on the type of circumstances of that relationship and who they are, that can happen as well. So my relationship to traditional relationships is not exactly as they're seeing it out as, but I know for some, a lot of girls like to expect a traditional relationship, but reality hits, we're not traditional girls. We do fans, we do all these other things.
But you could just stop.
Yeah, we
right,
can.
and then
completely.
you could just do the traditional thing and find this, like, rich
This
Mac daddy,
provider,
and
man.
yeah, and he can pay for your hair, and then you don't do the other thing.
Well, I do want to go around the table on this because that was a question that was posed generally, but to all of you. So, Cindy, how do you reconcile?
I think the man should definitely provide in a relationship, and it
So
doesn't
then
even
the
matter
woman
about
should
the-
not be involved in pornography.
I'm not even involved. Like, I don't make porn. I don't make like, if you subscribe
Cindy?
to me, I'm not. I actually don't. And Pornhub actually reached out to me last time because you said that in the video that went viral. I'm not on Pornhub. I don't do that kind of content. But going back to the question, like, yeah, I think the guy should provide. It's been like that. The man chases after the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been like that. It's always going to be like that. And it doesn't matter if you do OnlyFans, if you're a sexy model on the internet. It's not always what it seems. Once you get to know the actual woman and talk to her, like we are right now, then you'll actually get to know her. It's not always like sexualizing a woman because she's like, she's hot and like,
Oh, well, I'm not sure if that really, okay.
Sorry, I was going to say I kind of align with what you're trying to say is it's kind of a mask per se. I don't like saying that, especially on camera, but our identities as these girls, as adult girls, is that we are these super hypersexual beings, and that's not always the reality.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
our actual identities.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us don't even have the same names. So I think that's where it kind of carries out into our personal lives, and our private lives are very traditional as opposed to the untraditional ways that we present ourselves online.
The persona online.
But because
Yeah.
of that, we obviously, like myself, I include that into my relationships. There is a reality for myself, for others, perhaps not.
But is it really possible to like split yourself up into two people? I mean, you could have a stage name and a real name, and in your stage persona, you're one way, and in your real life, you're another way. But you're one person.
Not
so,
two different
you
people,
can't.
just the perception of how people see us online versus how we are
But
in
I
real
think
life.
that's to Brian's point. When you're dating someone,
With two different identities.
you're both of those people, right? And I guess you're going to be more one or the other, or you're going to be an individual.
Exactly.
So the stage persona might start to infringe upon the reality, and so would that change your expectations of the kind of guys you'd be dating, or how you would behave with them?
For me, my ex was the only person I ever made content with, like, in that way, like, to the furthest extent of content, I guess. No one else have I ever made content on that level with. Everything else is just me.
It's so crazy to think about the way we all talk today. Is ordinarily what you'd be saying is we made love, but we're such a capitalistic, materialist, decadent society. Now you say, my ex, he and I, we were so close, we made content together. It was the deepest content ever. It's just something's really gone wrong in our society, hasn't there? That because really you should just be making love and making babies.
No,
with
I
these
agree.
guys, right?
I agree, but the money is something that I really hopped on and wasn't willing to walk away from.
If it's very tempting.
If I can support myself and the people in my life, that's all I ask for.
Can I say something? I think that I don't even do content or anything, but I think we should treat people that do the same as we treat actors. Like, we don't judge them for the movies or the roles they play in movies or anything because the money is good.
Do we not? I
No.
mean, they're a little bit different. Historically speaking, actors have been considered in the same class as like criminals and prostitutes.
Well, I
Yes.
think in my personal
Marilyn
opinion,
Monroe.
Yeah,
I don't.
sure.
Pamela
I don't look at a role my
Anderson.
favorite actor plays and say I don't like this role, so I don't like this person. It's kind of just like they're doing it for the money and they're doing it for the content, and I think it's the same with OnlyFans.
No, sure. I understand that they're like these. You put on a
Brian's
mask and you
like,
do a
no.
thing.
So what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
what do you think, Brian?
Well, look, let's I think you're trying to make a point of something in a broader sense, but I'm talking on an interpersonal relationship level. So, for example, you could have, and I'll open this up to the whole panel, but I'll start with you. Would you object to a man who perhaps he has actually no issue with a woman being engaged professionally with producing adult content? He has no problem with it, no judgment of it. However, when it comes to his personal life and who he chooses to partner with and date, he does object to dating someone who has nude photographs of themselves on the internet for whatever reasons those may be. He's not outwardly judgmental about it, but when it comes to his personal preferences and who he wants to date, marry, whatever it may be, he does not want to date a woman who does OnlyFans or does porn. Do you object to that preference?
No, I think everyone
Okay.
has different preferences, and everyone should have the right to decide that for themselves.
Okay.
But then that man would be judging.
No, that's a
No.
personal preference. There's a pool for everybody. That's
Yeah.
what I believe. If
Yeah.
there's a group of guys who's not okay with adult content, like, then that's not the guy for me. So it's cool. Like, you don't want to date me, I don't want to date you just
Yeah.
as much. That's how I see it.
I think the right one for you, you guys will come to a common ground together in the end. But right now, I mean, we're all single. We can all really do whatever we want without the feedback of a partner.
Sure. Is it possible, though, that if you didn't do what you do, that you could get a better husband someday? Is it possible that the kind of guy who you might want to marry is the kind of guy who wouldn't want his wife to be, in the sexual industry?
Not for me.
I think it depends on your standard of quality and what better actually is. So if you identify as better in a man would be somebody who is completely religious or is completely conservative or somebody who is completely against pornography in general, then better might be very, very large and
But
different.
what if it's even more
from-
basic? It's just like a guy who, he's more faithful to you, he's better at raising the kids, he makes more money, he is more
What does
responsible.
that have to do
If
with
I met
sex
the
work,
right guy
though?
and he didn't want me to do this anymore and we were going to be together, I'd quit.
You'd quit,
I'd
yeah,
be done.
yeah, of
I'd be
course.
done. But that's not where I'm at in life right now. Like, I respect that. I think everyone, that would be hard as a partner watching your partner online and for everyone else to see. Like, I don't doubt that that's hard.
Is it possible, though, that what you're doing now is preventing you from meeting that guy? Because that guy maybe wouldn't even look at your kind of content, right? So is it possible that if you quit right now, you say, I want, it's like dress for the job you want, right? You say, I'm going to quit right now and I'm going to go do something else and I'm going to go put myself in places where I'm more likely to meet that guy, Mr. Right, who wouldn't want me to be doing this stuff. Are we not reversing the order of the way things might happen?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to a sense, but I think the guy for me is going to be the guy for me in the end, and I don't need to change what I'm doing right now for him.
I think
yeah. No,
I
please.
think for a lot of us, at least from my sense, is I prefer a partner who's understanding and with transparency. So if they're willing to understand the reasonings that I chose to do my job and chose my occupation and have continued it for so long, then I think that's the perfect partner for me. Not everybody is going to understand, and not everybody that does understand is perfect for me, but eventually one day, just as she's saying, is that person may come around and that might be the perfect fit. But I don't think that everybody is possibly perfect, even if they don't appreciate or are accepting of what I've done in the past. So for that reason, I think it just comes around. Obviously, yes, if we all lost our jobs and we all chose to leave it, yes, there'd be a larger percentage of men or women who are willing to be with us. Obviously, she doesn't perform this type of work. But regardless, I think as well, just because we continue to do this to today, then I think most of us would prefer somebody who is understanding and passionate for our decisions.
Because you're putting the job before the larger pool potentially of guys that
Completely.
you
And
could, yeah.
I think it's also because that can show more of a moralistic value as opposed to the simplicity of, oh, so she left it, great, now I can finally hop in because now she's out of that system. Not necessarily that's what you're saying, but
No,
for
it's
the
not. I
instance
guess it
of-
would. If you quit, it would probably reflect a change in your point of view about it.
Completely.
And it's kind of what I don't know. When I was a younger man back in my youth, I was more of a derelict and did all sorts of things I shouldn't do. And mercifully, I married my wife, who's much more virtuous than I am. But that required me to become a little bit more virtuous. Like I actually wasn't really deserving of my wife. And, so I worked on certain things and like partied less and, like stop behaving badly for the most part. And so it's not like we're all just static, right? It's not all just like, well, the man for me is going to take me exactly as I am. Like, I don't know, I'm not perfect. I got to work on all sorts of things every single day. So wouldn't the same be true for all of you?
Yeah,
Completely.
100%.
I suppose. I think one thing that was interesting was like you said something about being in the right place or different places if we weren't in this work. I just don't agree with that because I do look at it as work. I think all of us look at it as work.
Yeah.
So like,
It's just a certain type of work.
Pool-wise, yes, there's a different dating pool for us as sex workers, but I disagree that we wouldn't be, like, you're religious, right?
Pretty religious.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, like, do you think sex workers, like, they're contradicting themselves by being religious? I'm not personally religious, but...
No, well, our Lord did dine with prostitutes, and but that's not an endorsement of prostitution, right?
Okay.
So I don't know. I think probably... What often it could be hypocrisy. It could be that you say one thing and preach another, and you don't really believe what you're saying.
Okay.
If you're, say, a prostitute or a porn actress, and you say you're Christian, but what it probably more likely is you recognize something in your mind has changed, and you recognize that there's something good here that I should follow, but the body is kind of slow to follow, and you like the money, and you're kind of used to doing this, and there's a fear of what might happen next, and you're not even totally convinced, and because we're not just brains floating in outer space, and we're not just bodies, as unfortunately the sex industry would portray us to be, but we're both of those things, and so it creates a bit of a cognitive dissonance, and then one is going to win out over the other, and one hopes it would be the better alternative.
So I guess that's another thing that I wanted to ask you too for clarification. So if we were to end sex work, right, for us, if I were to quit, would I have to be like, oh, no, it was a bad idea, like I regret it, like, or could I possibly just be like, it doesn't make me happy anymore?
Yeah, you could quit and say, I'm just quitting because, it's Tuesday and I feel like quitting.
Right.
You could do that, that's fine.
Okay.
I suspect that what would happen over time is as people are always moving, you're always growing, you grow or you die. And so you'll continue to think things and your thoughts will change. And very likely, if you are impelled to leave that kind of work because you have just an inclination that it might be better for you if you get out, probably over time you're going to look back and say, I probably shouldn't have done that. Not the proudest thing I've ever done, but, that's why pencils have erasers, and I'm very glad that I can be absolved of my sins and we move on. All sin and fall short of the glory of God. That's probably what would happen. But if the first thing you got to do is just say, like, I don't want to do it, I'm out, it's yucky, whatever, like, cool, that's fine.
But does it have to be yucky? That's my point.
Or
could
not
you just
even
be
yucky.
like,
Yucky's too strong. Yucky's too
because I said I'm not
condemnatory.
religious. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I'm not religious. Yeah. So
I was an atheist for 10 years, so you don't have to convince me.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's fine. If there's just like some little inclination in you that says like, something's just not quite sitting right here, just follow that. You don't have to reason about everything. You can just kind of follow your gut. Your gut is often going to lead you in a decent direction, and then you apply reason after that, and you say, okay, was that a good choice or a bad choice?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, because like the stigma behind sex work is like, it's bad, right? Everyone just says like, it's bad, but
it's not good. It's not. I wouldn't say it's good, but
I think it's good.
Do you really though? Or, the way you ask the question makes me suggest perhaps you have some doubt about that.
Yeah, I worked in corporate. I had that lifestyle, and I compare that to how I live my life now. I'm way happier now, and people don't like to believe that. I think it makes them really mad when I say that. But like my lifestyle now, like I'm my own boss. Yeah. I'm not constantly shit on by other people. I'm constantly I'm constantly shit on by other people, but I'm happy. I'm like genuinely happy.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
I do believe you that you feel that way, at least a lot of the time. The thing is, if that weren't the case, then bad things wouldn't be tempting. Like, of course, bad things give you a sort of euphoria, actually, for a period of time. But the longer-term consequences of that, like, for instance, forestalling meeting Mr. Right, and, perhaps forestalling having a family, or carrying with it some kind of stigma that is natural and is probably never going away as long as society continues to exist. These are difficult choices that if there weren't temptation, no one would do it. Right?
I appreciate that.
I also have like a genuine question about something you said earlier, and I do want to hear from like everyone else here also. But I think it's like 100% valid that you said like you in a relationship is a completely different person from what you present yourself to be online. And I just wanted to like ask, why would you want to present yourself to the whole world like someone that you aren't?
I think it really depends. It depends on who I was then when I initiated, which I was 18. and who I am now and who I've developed into being. So at that time when I was 18, I was a lot more freeing in the sense that I was trying to like get out of the house. I was trying to move away from my mom, and for that reason I had a different identity, just as anybody does when they're 18. And in addition to that, I wouldn't want to present myself entirely as somebody who's so open about either her ass or her tits or whatever else as I do online for the growth of either income or fans. But I do think that it does help me in the sense of I've gotten confidence in it. I've gained extreme amounts of confidence. I've also become very happy from it. The fruition that it's brought on to me from doing this type of work is beautiful. It's just so much just like freedom. It's been a lot of financial gain, obviously, but it's not something that I'd want anybody else to also experience. I don't think that's like...
Why not?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to most girls.
Because it's not good, unfortunately. I do disagree. I don't think
handle.
it's good. I think it's actually not good at all, but I think it does bring goodness. I think it can bring goodness.
I think it brings.
Like us.
I think it brings financial freedom.
And it gives you money.
So what?
It gives you money. There's no one's disputing
that's
that.
all it is. But it's not going to bring good. I think it's a disgusting addiction for a lot of people. It's a disgusting world for a lot of people.
And also the perspectives that we all have on men after seeing what goes on in the chats.
I disagree with that. I'm sorry.
I disagree also.
I have to disagree.
No, of course. I just think like...
I disagree also.
Yeah.
Well, I totally agree.
I think you should like...
I'm with you.
Thank you. I just think it varies. I think I love what I do. I'm not saying that I hate what I do. I absolutely love what I do.
But you kind of do.
No, I don't dislike what I do.
It's good to acknowledge both sides of it.
I acknowledge both as a devil's advocate.
Because you're basically saying like, oh, it's not good. Like you're contradicting yourself.
I'm not
like if you watch this over again, you'll see that you're contradicting yourself. You said that it's a good financial gain, but then you said
something can have a benefit and a risk as well.
Yeah, no, you clarified, right? Which you said it gives you good money, but it's not a good thing.
I think she's saying mentally it can have a toll on you, but financially it's very freeing, and I think I'm agreeing with her on that. Mentally, everyone's different. So you mentally can feel totally different than how she can feel, and then how I can feel and how she can feel.
Yeah. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
you're obviously totally right.
Yeah.
So but you're getting a lot of money, and money is great. And listen, there have been periods where I made a lot of money, and I like buying nice suits, so that's great. But is money ever worth it? If you're doing something that you're saying is intrinsically bad, it messes with my psyche.
There's a degree in which I go with it, though, to allow myself to feel like this is where I'm going to draw the line.
Yeah, of course. And then the line kind of moves often in these sorts of things.
No, my line was drawn at the beginning and was never moved past that.
And that's good.
So, like, for me, that's that. I don't know for everyone else.
And it's not just about money. Some people just like being a slut.
Do they really?
I do.
Do you?
So do a lot of other girls.
I do too.
Really? No, you don't.
I do enjoy it.
No,
yes.
you don't. What do you enjoy about it?
I like the attention. I just like
you like the attention,
being hot.
Sure. You like looking pretty and getting your hair done.
Pleasure.
Sure. Yep. Everyone likes sexual pleasure. But does that?
So it's not just about the money.
But couldn't you? You know, if you got married, you would get all of those things. You'd get a much better version. You'd get better sexual pleasure and sexual pleasure brought to fruition.
A routine.
You know, and you would get someone paying for your hairdos, so you would look pretty, and you get plenty of attention from a man who actually loves you instead of a man who's using you and men who you in turn are using.
But I just don't want to be married right now. Like I just want to like play the field and be a hoe.
But you said you're not really dating anyone. You're not really playing the field.
But you know, there's some hot guys out there.
They're out there, but you're not dating them.
This is only like the past like few months, so I've been busy. But hey, I'm not opposed to it if like a hot guy with like a nice
bank account.
She said bank account.
Like a nice package comes around and knows how to use it. Like then like let's do it, dude.
But what about what you just said on how it's a bad addiction for most people?
I think it is a bad addiction for some people.
Do you feel bad about leading guys or encouraging this addiction?
I do, and the only reason is because I've worked on this for 3 years, and not to highlight too much of what's happened in my personal life recently, but my personal life and my business life or my sex work life unfortunately has really crossed paths. Not because, people want to sleep with me or anything like that because of my job, but if anything, people become stalkers and people become addicts to who you are online, and that's happened really obsessively for me in the past 2 weeks.
That could happen anywhere though. Like I was like a waitress and I had stalkers then as well, but I don't think it's bad.
You don't think it's bad to have a stalker?
No, I'm saying like the industry and doing like sex work, it's not bad. You can have an addiction to literally anything. And I would argue that it's actually a good thing for some people.
To be addicted to pornography?
No, just
I don't think porn
pornography
addiction
in
exists.
general, but they just have
Really?
like the biggest.
You don't?
No, I don't.
There were just like
Seriously?
the biggest conventions for porn. I attended both, and there's a lot of people who, you know, have disabilities and maybe they can't go out in the real life and like meet girls, so they like to have that one-on-one connection and get that experience with a woman on OnlyFans, and it makes them really happy, and I love meeting them. And you know, they're not like these creepy guys, you know.
They are creepy guys.
No,
every one
they're
of them,
not
every single
creepy.
one. They are, because they're engaging in a totally self-directed sexual act,
So I have a
and they're making an
question.
idol out of you.
So I have a question.
Thank
Have
God.
you ever watched porn?
You know, listen, I was an atheist for 10 years. I was single, dated
so
some
then we could say that
girls,
you're
did some
creepy
bad
too.
things.
So we can say that
Right.
you're creepy too if you're gonna say everyone who
it
watches
is,
porn
it
is
is
creepy.
certainly a creepy act to look at pornography, yeah.
Masturbating is
It's
like so
not.
normal.
It's, well, there's two meanings of the word normal. There's normal like everyone does it, and there's normal like a standard that you would say, like a norm, you know. And so it's normal in the sense that a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people do it, but it's not good, right? No one's proud. No one ever writes home, "Hey mom, do you know what I did this weekend?" You know, it's very shameful because it's disordered and unnatural.
It's so natural.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think
I
the
disagree.
Sorry, I think
No,
the-
you're good.
I think the sexual drive to like either have sex with either one other person or whatever your preference is, or by yourself, is natural. Yes, it's very, very natural. You have sexual drives. That's why we go through puberty. I don't think it's necessarily fully natural to go kin to pornography every single day and all these things.
Of
And that's what
course.
I understand.
Yeah,
what
of
he's
course
trying to
not.
lay out.
It's
You
just-
sound like you need to quit the industry.
I'm
The
not
sex
saying
industry?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me when you said that. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
I don't hate, like, I absolutely love what I do, and I love the connections I
It doesn't
brought.
sound like you do.
I really do.
I think she's
No,
being very
I-
considerate.
I'm
of
very
the cause and
considerate of
effects.
just like the effects of
Yeah.
But like
so
when
the
you
face-
love something, you are passionate about something.
be
right
passionate about
now,
something.
like me and her and maybe other girls that are actually passionate about our work, we
Of
can sense that
course.
you are not
I
all
think
about it.
There, like I've shared, I'm only going to share so little of it, but when you're faced with a lot of the repercussions
Yep.
of those relationships, then you can call me and tell me that I hate my job. But I don't hate my job. I don't hate it at all. I am just unfortunately in a really bad circumstance where my safety is in jeopardy.
But
Yeah.
something fresh too. You
Yeah,
said it
that's very
just
fresh.
happened.
And I've been
so
there.
I understand.
I've been there before where my safety was in jeopardy too, and I understand what you're saying. I feel that.
Yeah, it's not normal in jobs.
No.
You know, even,
I
oddly
think
enough,
it
in my
is.
job,
You can
sometimes
stalk
it's
someone
really
at
safe.
Walmart.
I
Like,
think
you
only,
could
I
stalk-
think
I
I
think
think
it's-
I think it's the
You-
obsession that comes with it. I think it's not the stalking where it starts, but the build up.
Yeah, and
where
by
it
the way,
ends
that,
at.
that's not just like a random by chance accident of the industry. That's built in. The
Yeah.
whole point is these guys are supposed to get obsessed with
Yeah.
you and then give you a lot of money, and,
Right.
and then sometimes it goes over and it's really a dangerous
You
situation.
can say the same
But I
thing
would-
about Brian.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
people
I would
who
argue
idolize
that,
him
too.
and want to stalk him.
There were stalkers outside for him.
I'm sure
I
you
had to
have
push through
stalkers.
those.
I have some. I do deal with some.
And you're not over here in a
Weirdos.
little
So then what you
bikini
do
or
is
anything.
bad, Brian.
But there's extents to it because Brian's
Oh,
not
that's certainly.
naked.
Well, I will admit,
I
and
feel
I
like
think this would apply to any sort of anyone who has any sort of public-facing career or has who does content creation online, whether it's related to adult content or not. When you put yourself out there on the internet and you get any sort of, you start having any even a small level of followers or even fame, then you're going to. It kind of comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Celebrities deal with it.
Yeah.
Content creators deal with it.
And think about the kind of people who would follow you. You know, you kind of generate your own audience, right, based on what you put out there. So for whoever listens to my show and speeches, it tends to be these really sweet, you know, like Christian girls, and occasionally some, you know, traditional conservative dudes who get really into the Crusades or whatever, none of whom pose any threat to me, really. But if I were like a cute girl on OnlyFans and I were putting out content that were arousing like creepy dudes, then you're going to get, then the people who are going to be aroused are going to be the creepy dudes, and those are the last guys that you want to be
But do
obsessed
they
with.
Well, Michael-
have to be creepy dudes? I know very normal people that subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Me too.
My mom's friends
Very,
are
very
subscribed
normal.
to my OnlyFans.
Yeah.
My mom's friends are subscribed to my OnlyFans. Like people and my parents, my mom's daily lives are
What?
subscribed to my OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh.
And I've had to learn
Does she
to
know?
just
Does she know?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
I
Right?
don't
Because they
know.
know it's creepy and they don't want to tell
I
your
don't
mom
know.
that
I don't think that she knows her friends who are subscribed to
Of
my
course not.
OnlyFans. I
'Cause it's
think
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I just had to learn to work with it and work around it.
How'd you find out? Like they message you or I don't really know how it works.
Their
They-
usernames, and they've texted me through my personal number and personal Instagram. You know.
Oh, I was just pointing to the.
Oh,
Ooh.
my fault.
Well, I feel like if you haven't taken into consideration before you decide to make yourself an online presence, then that's on you.
It's part of the territory. It comes with the job. Like, I'm not gonna let that mess with my money because I know who you are. Like, if like it sucks, but
Is the money worth it though? At a certain point, and maybe now you say the money is worth it, but at a certain point, if you're listing all these terrible things that go along with it, especially what you're saying, at a certain point, don't you say, you know, I could be making $500,000 a year, I could be making $1 million a year. It's not. Look, man, it's nice having money. It doesn't matter that much, really.
Yeah.
You know, you want a roof over your head, decent food.
Yeah.
You want to be able to support your loved ones, but you actually don't need that much money to do that. But it gets addictive.
I think it's a comfort thing. Like, I think you get to a point and you get into a certain lifestyle and you're used to it.
Bingo.
Well, there's
Yeah.
lifestyle creep too.
Bingo.
Then you
Yeah,
start.
totally.
Yeah, I kind of got thrown into the lifestyle like this last year. It's hard to, you know.
Yeah, no, I know friends who
Yeah.
make millions of dollars a year, and truly, if it fell, they would go bankrupt in 2 seconds, because they get it's. For years, I've known people like this, but back in Hollywood, but you don't need like 5 Lamborghinis, right? You don't. It's just
No,
kind of
you
nice.
don't need it.
You don't need it.
We have a chat here that I'm going to get right now. We have Forrest. Question for the lesbians: does it make you mad when you watch male to female adult content?
Porn.
I don't usually find myself watching male to female adult content.
What if the accident stumbled?
Acts if, no.
Okay, she does not object to that. Okay, well, I do want to go back really quick because I don't think I got an answer from everybody. Actually, before I do that, we were going around the table on everybody's single status. I think we left off with you. We didn't get to Mia here. You're single,
For a year or so.
but come on.
No,
You've been celibate? Well, hold on.
no,
Point of clarification, have you been celibate for a year?
Actually,
Right. Great.
I don't believe you.
you don't have to believe me. No, but I've been celibate
don't
for a while.
believe you.
Love it.
Okay. Well, going around the table again, those of you who are single, have you been celibate? You've been celibate, Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
That is such
I've been
a
a
lie.
really good girl.
Cindy has
I've been a
terrible
really good
poker
girl,
face.
okay?
Okay. And just one clarification. I want to dig a little bit on this. Cindy, you said on your OF you don't do any nudity.
Oh, I do.
Okay. Because I think, well, the
I was gonna
last...
say, how do you make money?
And you've never done boy...
Well-
Wait, Cindy, have you never done...
Really?
Hold on.
For a year?
Okay, okay,
I
I
say
wanna
for
hear.
a year, I didn't even post nudes for a year. But that's because I already had I had a media status.
No
Shoulders.
Instagram.
bikini pictures, full clothes.
Elbow.
I'm
is
basically
really
naked
big,
on my
yeah.
Instagram.
So then how do you make money on your then if they can see it on your Instagram?
Parasocial relationship.
I like body. I like the art of being comfortable in your body. What?
Okay.
So
So Cindy,
I
Cindy,
feel
Cindy.
comfortable showing my skin on Instagram.
Wait, but Cindy, so on your OF or in any other website, in any of the content you've ever been featured in or produced or made, have you done any content with like boy-girl content?
I have in the past. I don't anymore.
You didn't.
Yeah. I
Last
have.
time you were on, you didn't say that. You said you've never done content with a guy.
I have done content with a guy.
Oh, so why is your story changing?
I've only done like a blowjob video, but that's okay. And then, okay.
His face right now is killing me. Your face is hilarious.
Okay, but it hasn't been like hardcore. Okay, and like honestly,
Just a blowjob, not hardcore.
like honestly, yeah. But like, okay, for a year,
Yeah, for a
I
year.
was literally just posting lingerie, and I just got comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Can you
So-
tilt your
That's kind
mic
of like
down a little
that
bit?
was kind of the
Cindy?
point I was making earlier. You start with that line, and then often, maybe not
Yeah.
for everybody,
That's
but
not
often
the
it kind
truth
of
for everyone, but
Yeah.
it can happen.
No.
I'll give it to you.
Other way. Yep,
All right.
you got it.
All right.
Well done. Well
Okay,
done, Cindy.
can you wait, Nick? Can you hear me?
Yeah, he's
Okay, you can
got
hear
you.
me.
You don't,
So
you-
I don't. I like making content. I like the lifestyle that I have now.
okay, so y'all are. How long have y'all been celibate since you're single and there's no guys in the picture. How long have you been celibate?
No, I would say like
Yesterday.
no, like maybe a month and a half ago I got drunk and whatever, but not since then.
Cindy, what about you? How long you been celibate for?
Since last year, Ryan.
Okay.
I went live with Jasmine Jafar last night, so.
Okay.
I was with her earlier today.
I know you were.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
We went live too.
Yeah,
That's my
it was live
girl.
too.
Yeah, probably very different. My stuff's pretty hardcore. I make content pretty often, so.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
that.
just with one person though. I'm not like a whore or anything.
Nicolette. Celibate?
So I have a really funny story actually. So I was celibate for the past 4 months. And then I was just like really horny one night, and I met this hot firefighter. He was like 6'3", buff, tattoos.
Firefighters be hot.
He was so hot.
Like firefighters,
Love that.
like
Something about a firefighter, like dick me down
I donated
tonight.
to
Okay,
Firefighter-
just wait.
No,
Last
sorry, God.
Christmas.
Swear to God.
So I was like, well, it's been 4 months. I need some dick. And so I like go to his house. Oh, and let me preface, before he was like talking like this big game, like, oh, I can go multiple rounds. You haven't seen nothing yet. And so we get to his place. This has never happened to me before. He like puts it in. I kid you not. I just go back on it like once. Boom. Pre-ejaculated. And I was like, what the f-? So I'm not counting it.
I wouldn't count it either.
that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So wait,
If
when
they
a
don't
guy like
say it, if they don't
comes
make
too
you
fast,
come,
you don't count it as a body.
That was the only time
That
it's
was
ever
not a
happened.
body.
That was the first time it's ever happened. And he was wearing a condom too. So like something's wrong with him.
No, that's
No, you're
Something is wrong
hot.
with
That's
that.
probably
I
why.
agree.
And he
Something
didn't
is
even,
deeply
like-
wrong.
your performance.
He didn't even get me off. So like
it doesn't
what a
count.
loser.
If they don't make you come, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
We're drawing the
Well,
line.
Yeah.
that one specifically. So yeah, I'm not counting that. So 4 months.
Okay. Fair.
Sure.
Fireman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, he disappointed.
He did.
Maybe I don't see why. And Michael, if you want to do earmuffs for this,
Perhaps, yeah.
I'm kidding. Why is it the case? There's such a double standard here because if a guy comes too quick, that's terrible. But if a woman comes too quick,
When have you heard
there's
of a
no such
woman
thing. You can't come too quick.
Have you
Women don't
ever heard of
come
a
too
woman
quick.
coming too quick?
I don't
Has
think
that ever
I've-
happened to you? Like genuinely in
There-
real
I
life, where a
will
woman's
say-
come in 30 seconds or under?
Are you sure she didn't fake it?
No, there
Yeah,
are
because
some.
like then
there
she
are-
can just keep once
There
you
are
come
some-
No,
once.
there's
you
women.
can keep going.
There are
Because
women
they're
who
doing
they'll come really quick, and they tend to be multi-orgasmic. So, sorry, Michael.
No, that's always. I put that in my log line of my show.
Yeah.
Multi.
So they tend, if the ones that come quick, they tend to also be able to come. They can come 10 times in 5 minutes.
I feel like that's even better for
Yeah,
a
that's
guy.
fire.
than-
No, it's
Yeah.
good. Where are all the female premature ejaculators? It's not. It wouldn't be premature though. That's what I'm wondering.
If you could actually go round for round, like
Okay.
you said, and
Yeah.
then just talk all this shit, then it would be fine.
Yeah,
But
I
you
feel
can't
like
go round for
whenever
rounds.
the guy gets off, that's like the end of it. That's like
It's like,
usually
yeah, I'm
when
done.
sex
I'm
ends.
done.
That's why you gotta please your woman before.
Yeah, tell
You
him.
gotta get her.
Tell them.
You
Yeah.
Play.
gotta get her
Brian
there
knows
before
what's
you
up.
get there.
I
Yes,
agree.
sir.
So-
And
But if you're coming too quick, how is that supposed to happen?
When-
Like if a guy comes too quick when we first
Hey.
start hooking up, like I'm
Brian
not
has a
going
secret.
Brian
I-
knows.
BLM.
I got.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
know, tell
Wait, what's that all
fill us
about,
in.
too?
Come on.
Yeah, for BLM, you have the secrets
What's
on
that
the
all
course.
about, real quick?
Tell us the secret.
Well, there's like three
Please
different
don't tell us the
questions.
secret.
There's three different
Please tell
questions.
us.
What's the secret ingredient?
I'm just saying, there's other methods.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, we'll count to 10.
Seriously.
Come on. I'll just say, look, there's, you could use your hands. There's toys that you can use, so.
There's like a big pull lever thing. There's a weird
Then at
contraption.
that
he's got
point,
up
we might
there,
not.
yeah.
We might as well not have had sex at all. Like,
What do you mean?
if I can use a toy, then I might as well just be fucking myself.
Not
Like,
he
if I can
ties
make
you up.
myself
Okay,
come.
never mind.
That is.
Ryan!
That's such a great observation about
shibari
hookup
or
culture.
something, yeah.
Like,
Like
if
you-
I
you-
can make
We said that earlier.
myself
Such a
come,
great
I don't
point.
want to hook up with you
Yeah.
because you're not going to make me come.
What's what? So you say you picked up this firemen who didn't get the job done. And so you say that was a bad night and I shouldn't have done it. I don't even want it to count, and I might as well have just stayed home alone by myself. Isn't that true of all of the hookup culture, which is just totally pointless and meaningless?
In my opinion,
you're just treating someone like a sex toy for your own gratification.
No guy that I've ever hooked up with for like a one night stand has ever made me come. Like point blank period.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I've just got unlucky as but I've never had a good one night stand.
How many one night stands have you had?
More than I can count on my 10 fingers, and that's where I'm gonna.
So then, wouldn't it be like you were saying, I don't want to get married yet, I don't want to do this. But if you were married, you would not have had the bad experience with the fireman. You'd presumably pick a guy who, gets the job done, and then you'd have all these great nights and not this short, brief self-satisfaction, if even that.
So why are you trying to push marriage on me so bad?
Because it's good and it's the natural end of sex.
What's wrong with finding yourself before
that's what
marriage?
sex is for.
The natural end of sex?
Yeah, it's like what sex is geared toward. It's not supposed to be with like you and Brian's weird contraption upstairs, and it's not supposed to be with like you alone and a contraption.
Are you going to show us after, Brian?
Yeah.
What contraption?
I have no idea what Michael's
What?
talking about.
I'm intrigued, but I'm intrigued.
I wasn't supposed to mention it.
What's wrong with a woman not actively looking for a husband, though, and just living her life for her?
Then she should just...
He said, how did we get
You're talking about being all
humbly
freaky and tying girls up and shit, Brian.
Have like these one-night stands that they admit are disappointing in themselves.
But why not? If it's something that's fun and... Like,
not everyone finds it fun though. Like she said that the amount of one night stands she had. Like
in my opinion, I would just rather someone who like knows my body and knows how to make me come.
Yeah, which is so valid. Like
why
makes everything else.
Yeah.
Like,
and is
so
that the reason why you've had more than 10 one-night stands?
Oh. Everybody has fun sometimes.
Okay, look.
So.
Well, you just said it is a bit contradictory.
Fun, right?
No, and I get it. I'm just not a perfect person. Like I started having sex when I was a young age. Like I was too young to be having sex, and that's what it came down to. Like,
and they're not all bad.
Well, that's
not all bad. That's never happened to me before.
That's actually another perfect argument for why women, especially, should not engage in hookup culture, because I think men's orgasm response is fairly typical. It's fairly easy, at least for men, to achieve that, whereas women often complain that. Heck, even with regular partners, sometimes they don't even climax. So that's an even stronger argument for why women should not be so willing to engage in casual sex or one-night stands or hookup culture, because you're not even. It's a transitory, casual sexual encounter, but you're not even climaxing. Now, granted, even within the confines of a relationship, even if you don't climax, hopefully you do, but I think sex can still be enjoyable. I think we can all agree, even if you don't always. Hopefully most of the time you do, but sometimes you don't, and I think it can still be a bonding experience, and it's still physically pleasurable and enjoyable. So
did you just contradict yourself?
What do you mean?
By saying that, I'm sorry, you just circled all the way back.
To what?
You said girls shouldn't be engaging in hookup culture, but then you're like, but even if you don't come, you should enjoy the experience.
Yeah, I mean, that was more of a caveat, but like, it's more often the case that in a casual encounter, the woman is less likely to climax than the man. So it's a very strong argument.
She needs to just speak up.
What's that?
What?
You can still have fun though, like you just said.
She just needs to like talk you through it. I'm sorry that's been your experience, but like.
Wait, here's a question for the ladies at the table. Actually, which one do I want to ask first? Going around the table, have you ever faked an orgasm?
I have.
You have?
Definitely.
In sex specifically?
As opposed to
well, I mean, like
buffet?
we're content creators, like we're content creators.
No. Like with a
like real life sex, not making it.
Yeah, not content.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, hold on just a second.
Regretful Ho donated $200. Of girls, will your confidence diminish with age, or when you stop BC you're conditioning yourself now that to think confidence/self-worth is determined by SXX, $body beauty? What will be left of you?
I like how
their username is Regretful Ho.
They're warning us.
Regretful Ho.
Do you guys have a thought on that? Or?
I have more to offer than just my hot body. So I think when I'm old, I'll be fine and happy with myself.
But isn't the point that a lot of people have said, well, part of the reason I've enjoyed doing porn and OnlyFans is because it gives me confidence. But of course, the confidence is just the adulation of these creepy dudes and money. So those will go away over time, as the commenter says. And then if you ground your self-worth and your sense of value on those things, you're going to be out of luck.
Isn't that my husband's job then, when I do decide to quit and settle down, to make me feel hot, even in my old age?
Right. So that's what I think the commenter
Butler
suggests.
donated $200. Brickson, are you aware 1 in 3 women aged 16 to 30 have STD now? The panel of plague rats you've gathered this evening are fine specimens of disease.
That's
I'm gonna
new.
be sick. Hashtag you all have herpes. Hashtag filthy.
I should tell you there's a bit of lore. So Jay Butler, every single show for the past 4 or 5 months, every show,
Wow.
he always mentions, did he mention herpes?
Yeah, in the
He mentioned her-
hashtag.
he
Hashtag
always-
you all have herpes, plague
He
rats.
always, he is a
Plague
urologist. He's a urologist, and he just, day in, day out,
Grid 1 Motorsports
He's-
donated $200.
Oh, thank
the
you, man.
best thing about casual sex is the men care even less about you than you do about yourselves. They never wake up at 30, unmarried, childless, and wonder why their dating value is so low.
Next.
thank you.
You thought
Grid
you did
One.
something
Thank
there.
you.
Next. Moving on.
Oh,
Okay.
just to finish off on this thread, have you ever faked an O?
An O? No.
Yes.
Yeah. Question.
You didn't ask me.
Oh,
All the time. At breakfast,
No.
on my flight, actually, they had to.
Don't
the stewardess
disrespect
came
your
over.
wife
Wait,
like
Madison?
that.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
Have you?
crazy.
like with any of the
I
other.
prefer not to disclose details of my
Oh.
sexual life.
Okay.
Respectable.
Wait. So question. Wait. Show of hands. Who has again? Okay. Don't you guys think communication's really important in a relationship? And a frequent complaint I hear from women is that men are these awful communicators. Men are terrible at communicating. But wouldn't faking that
So you're
be
saying that once you hook up-
terrible
okay.
communication?
If you only know the guy for like a day or so, like
Yeah.
you think it's appropriate to just text him like, oh, you didn't, like, I faked orgasm or something. Like, what you said, communication, you want us to tell them that
In the moment.
in the moment. I feel like it's awkward though.
For
You
me,
just gotta quote that one Kanye song. You know, like back in the day, you used to have like fake orgasms and shit, but now you could tell them, I wanna come.
I feel like at the
That's
time that
me.
I faked orgasms, I was 17 and
Yeah.
not as confident, and I didn't possess the communication skills I have now. So probably,
I think when I faked an orgasm is because I just wanted it f***ing over with.
yeah.
I was over it. I was like,
Yeah,
I need this to be
awkward.
done. I was
Yeah.
like, move on. So this is literally, this needs to be done. That was
the
my
meaning of
reason.
orgasm.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
I
But
like
in the
Seriously,
future,
I was over it.
You can tell a guy, hey, I'm not feeling this. Like, I wanna go.
No, but like, and I have had guys like not respect that and be like, I'm like, okay, like, sorry, I'm like, we're mid having sex, it's not good. I'm like, okay, this like, we kind of need to wrap this up, and they're like, okay, well, I'm not done yet. So that's for me. That's where I'm
I
like,
press the
I'm
SOS on
faking,
my
I'm
iPhone.
faking. This is over. This needs to be done. Like I'm trying to run.
No.
That was me also at a young age when I didn't know how to communicate. Like I'm done and I'm walking out. When I hit a certain point, I was like, okay, I'm done, and I could speak up for myself. But before, that was how it was.
Wait, so how frequently did you want to, or would you, mid
Coitus.
sexual intercourse, just get up and walk away?
Oh,
and
multiple
leave?
times.
Really?
Yes, I was done. I was out of there, and I said, I gotta go.
Done. What? How? Why?
Because they were giving me the ick.
Yeah, totally.
They were
Wait,
icky me out.
and you
'Cause they were
determined
icky.
this.
They were totally icky. So, if this is happening multiple times, is like a pattern, then wouldn't that suggest to you, like, maybe this group of guys or this kind of
No, for
situation,
sure.
we should like avoid that.
I feel like this is all speaking of like in years ago too. Like as of recently, I'm very specific about who I have sex with and who I have those kind of interactions with. So I wouldn't say it's recent, but
But when it comes to the ick, isn't that something that you could have?
no, it's like the
Figured
facial
out.
expressions during sex really gross me out. Of some people, like seriously, like if you look at me in some weird way, like
Here.
I'm done. Like I will not come. I will no. I
Pretend
gotta
I'm you, and pretend you're the icky dude. Let's do a role play here. Show me the face.
I'm not making the face. I'm not making the face.
Was it like The Rock eyebrow raise, like Nick?
It was like that. That. I'm like,
wow.
ooh.
Okay.
They get too confident with it.
They're like, and I'm like, ooh.
So do you want a guy who's like looks like he's almost like very aloof with it, and he's totally
No,
he's
it's
actually
like if
not
we're
enjoying
both into it,
at
we're
all.
both
That's
into
my
it, but,
go-to.
like-
It's just the aloof. I'm almost disgusted. You know? No, I'm kidding. That's what you'd prefer.
No, I just like.
You object to men being into it.
Ugh. Just
They're
like
immersed.
certain facial expressions from certain people who I've never seen other than having sex with them. Like those facial expressions have never popped out before, and then we have sex and you want to bring up a whole new face.
And,
I'm like,
and so
wait.
you'll leave.
I'm like, wait,
Something's
I
very
gotta
profound
go.
Wait,
now.
so you will literally stop.
I'm like, babe, like this is not working. Like I'm gonna go finish in the other room. You can take yourself out. You know where the front door is. You have your car and drive home.
Oh no.
He's a brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
Oh no.
She has good communication.
I'm not lying anymore. At least I'm not faking an orgasm anymore.
Really good communication.
Yeah. And everyone has their icks, to be fair. Like that's your specific ick.
Like, ew.
Yeah,
Good talk.
I agree. It is icky.
Good
That's
talk.
It sounds very icky. I would have kicked those people out
Yeah,
too.
you gotta go.
Okay, all right. Did we go around the table on everyone's celibacy status? Did we?
Yeah.
Everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Laughing in the corner right now.
Oh, the thing I
Brian,
wanted
what's
to,
your celibacy status?
the thing I wanted to,
How many bodies you got right now?
the thing I wanted to talk about when it came to everybody being single and everything, it does occur to me, and I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus here, but since a lot of you are involved in content creation, and I've heard this from women who are Twitch streamers, for example, but certainly it seems to be the case with women who are involved in OF. Would it not, and does it not, hurt your bottom line if you were openly to communicate to your audience that you were in a relationship? And we see this even with women who don't do adult content, Twitch streamers, for example, or content creators, YouTubers. If they post a photo with their boyfriend, their viewership will drop, and this is typically from their male viewer base. So a lot of you said you were single, but is it not the case that a lot of, perhaps maybe not for you, but some girls who do OnlyFans who say they don't have boyfriends, but actually do because it hurts their bottom line?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So is it like a 50-50 for all of you that you're actually all currently involved with a man? But if you were, you wouldn't even admit it on the show.
No, I'm not lying. I don't have any man in my
Okay.
life right
Yeah,
now.
me either.
Okay.
Like I have
I
no
do make-
reason to lie about that.
Yeah.
But you do acknowledge that it's extremely common for women who do fans or who do any sort of content
Yes.
creation to not share that they are in a relationship
I
or have a
do.
boyfriend.
Yeah,
do
it's
it-
nobody's real business anyway, though.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think when I was filming boy on girl content, it was when I was in a relationship, and I think my followers liked that more than me not having boy on girl content. And since I've been out of that relationship,
more hardcore.
yeah, and they get to ask customs and request what they want out of the videos and whatever. And
Well, the thing is that a lot of the girls on OnlyFans are selling what is the girlfriend experience. So that fantasy disappears when it's quite clear that she's already involved with a man.
a lot of
And you
men
can't
love to see you getting fucked by some other man.
They're cucks. Those men are
Definitely,
cucks.
for sure.
No, but that means
it's true.
I totally agree with what you're saying, but doesn't that mean that all pornography, if you watch pornography, you are engaging in an act of cuckoldry, right? You are watching the woman of your desire being violated by some other guy. It's not you.
Yeah.
You're just sitting in a corner in your pathetic little room, with the
Yeah.
blinds closed. So it's very
That's a
degrading.
bit
I like that
extreme.
I think it's accurate
That's a
and
bit
precise.
extreme.
It's.
I don't
think
see
a
the
lot
flaw
of
in my
it
logic.
checks out,
Yeah,
though. It checks
Yeah,
out.
I think it checks
Yeah,
out.
it's kind of like Games
yeah.
of Thrones.
I like the word though. I didn't. I've never heard of it.
What?
because of the midgets, you mean? Yeah.
I think.
Well, they were
dwarves-
watching-
Actually, little
No?
person is the.
That's the new
That's the
term.
right
I
term.
got to
little
keep up.
person. See, it's the euphemism treadmill. It used to be. Dwarf was the appropriate, but now I think it's a little person is the preferred term.
Soon to be cute little fella, and that'll just zoom right back. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I actually am open-minded to dating a little person. So if you guys know any female
I actually
dwarves,
know one. I'm gonna put
please.
you on.
But not an OnlyFans model.
Wait, what is the criteria?
like what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a long list. We should save that for a
Okay.
little bit later.
Okay.
I have a long
Labia
list.
for one.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What did you say?
That's his thing.
big
He likes
BLM.
fat pussy.
Are
I
you
guess,
serious?
yeah, we wouldn't work out then. I got a labiaplasty.
Wait, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Wait, you gotta. You gotta.
Oh, you did? How
Wait,
was
actually?
that? How was
Actually, yeah, you can find out if you want to see
Okay, yeah, I
it.
guess you can show me how. not that way, but I'm sure you have. I didn't mean it like in that sense. But,
Check, please.
Yeah.
But how did we get there? Why you? We can go over what I'm looking for. But dwarf, dwarf, hook me up
I
with the
do.
dwarf. I'm down.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Would you guys? Actually, I can't. I'm just riffing here off of
Would
the
we what?
dwarf comment. Would you guys date? A lot of women like tall men. Would you date a dwarf?
コスタインズドナーティド207ドルゼネラルコメントトゥーパネルファミリーズアーザベストシングエバーユーウィルノットリグレットドットザジョイユーフィールフロムユアキッズアンドワイフスラッシュハスバンドイズイメンスチューズザファーザーワイズリー
Agreed. I
ウェルカム
agree.
バックビー
That was my dad.
Agreed.
Thank you. Well, that aren't you Chinese?
I'm part Japanese, I found out.
Oh, you
I
found
found
that
out.
Okay. Yeah, you took a 23andMe. I need to fix that. I'm sorry, guys. Pico Steins, thank you for the TTS, man. Appreciate it. Did you guys all? I think you read it and you.
But you agreed.
Yeah,
So why?
when the time's right.
Wait, agreed with what?
I don't want a
So the
marriage and
families are
family
great.
right
It's awesome. It's
now.
the best thing ever. I can attest. It's amazing. I even, I like my job, even though I'm not on OnlyFans. It's a version of this, like political OnlyFans, where
Yeah.
I just, I create content for my
Yeah.
political
A
followers.
little bit
and
less sexy, but
Yeah.
I find it
Same.
more sexy, actually. Thank you very much. But
I'm sorry.
look, I like it. I like my job a lot and writing books and speaking and stuff. But it is nothing. It is nothing compared to my family. Like
Yeah.
you could burn all my books, lose all the tapes of my political. Nothing about the world would change at
But
all.
none of us have family like that.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, none
but
of us
but
have
when
that
you
yet.
say, well, yeah, but maybe not yet, but in the future.
But I didn't
my
say it like
thought
that.
is-
Like I do want a family.
Yeah.
I want kids.
my
I
thought
want a
is,
family.
look, you're not 12 years old or something. You're all of age, and I just think like, why put it off? It's just awesome. It's just objectively awesome. It will improve your lives in every single way. Whatever you're doing now, no matter how much you think you like it, it's 100 times better at least. So why if it's so good and you even agree it's
Because I don't
good,
think what I'm doing right now is stopping me from where I'm supposed to end up in the long run. Like
Where's
I think.
I
do you
agree
really
with
not
that.
think that? You don't think
No.
it's impeding you? I thought we all
I
agreed
agree with
that
that.
it kind of impedes.
No,
it.
I
agree
think
with
where I'm
that.
supposed to be is exactly where I'm going to be.
But I thought we
was
all just
beautiful.
previously agreed
Thank
that it does
you.
impede sort
Thank
of
you.
getting married. And
I
starting a
rehearsed
family.
that before I came.
yeah,
in.
that sounds beautiful. Just like not right now.
Straighten up.
Well, no, but you seem to be agreeing with my point that doing fans and porn it does sort of impede starting a family. You seem to be
I
disagreeing.
didn't really.
I don't think.
But I
it-
think you actually
don't
agree
think
with me
she
too.
Said it
I didn't
impedes
say
it.
that.
What did you say?
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry. I thought you agreed with me.
No, I said I want to have a family. I think
Yeah.
a
But you
family.
don't-
Family's a
are we-
beautiful thing. I
are we
want
re-
it.
I feel
just
like
not
we're
right
all
now.
just playing pretend right now when we say that being on and doing porn doesn't slow down the process of finding the right guy and starting a family. I thought previously we all agreed that
No.
But how would you
Okay,
describe?
I must be misremembering then.
How would you describe the right guy? Because maybe the right guy to you for these girls would be different than the
That-
right guy.
we all
That
said-
was the point
we
I
all
made
said
earlier.
That guys who watch porn are creepy cucks,
I
right?
didn't
all
say
just
that.
agreed with
You
that.
said that.
I think many of us agreed with that.
I
and
disagreed
Ryan
No,
with
I
agreed
asked
with
you if you had watched it, and you said yeah, and I said, well, then what goes to say
No,
that
look,
you weren't creepy?
You,
and
you
weird?
asked me, have I dated other girls? Have I done all sorts of sins? I say I've done all sorts of terrible things back in my wayward youth. And
Okay,
then
so you're saying to this day you don't sin? You saying you don't?
no,
make
I commit
a
sins,
mistake?
but I don't really commit those sins. I commit other sins, but I don't really commit the sins that maybe mark
But everyone,
my atheist single
everyone
life.
sins, and everyone has their own sins.
Yeah.
And I think
But a guy who's addicted to porn is going to be a horrible husband and a horrible father.
that's not the guy I'm going to end up with, though.
Right, but by doing pornography, you are greatly narrowing the pool of
So
men.
look, me doing pornography or me not doing pornography, people are gonna watch it either way. I'm just profiting off it, like because I do it now. But it doesn't. Me taken out of that equation, people are not still.
But a guy who personally does not look at pornography and who thinks it's bad and not good for
I
his
don't.
character.
I haven't met a guy who doesn't watch porn yet.
You met
so.
like one, hi, hello.
You have
said
watched
you
porn.
watched
Well,
porn.
I also don't like sleep with lots of people and go on dates and go
Yeah,
drinking
and that's why
until
all the
5
other
in the
guys have
morning,
watched it too, you know?
But you're saying you've never met a guy who doesn't presently watch porn.
I'm saying in general, has never watched porn.
Oh, has never watched porn.
Yeah,
Oh, no, something like
not
what, 99% of men or
Not
something?
presently.
And 1% are lying. Yeah, you can't live in our culture and not have seen pornography.
Yeah.
You go on Instagram, porn pops up, right?
Exactly.
Like, you go on TikTok, porn pops up.
So why not profit off of it? If people are posting their tits on Instagram, why not people pay for it?
Because it attracts men to you who are not the kind of men you want to attract, and because it arouses in them bad
I don't
things.
care. I don't want them. I want their money. Like I want at the end of the day.
Right, you want the other
that's
guys. You just said you want the other guys to start a family because it's so great.
See,
but I'm saying
Wait,
doing
so-
the former is going to preclude the latter.
I'm not ready
But
for that
is your
yet.
argument that there's a demand for it, so why not
Fulfill that demand.
profit from it? Is that sort of the argument?
Yeah.
Well, what can we apply that to drugs, for example? There's a demand for heroin,
that.
there's a
I
demand
get
for
that.
fentanyl. You're not doing anything. You're just, they want it.
But to me, I'm not putting myself in a position where I can die. I'm not harming myself. I'm not doing
Sure, and it's not a
drugs. It's
totally
just
fair
different. I'm
comparison,
just
but-
my pockets
I
are getting
agree with
bigger.
you, babe.
I'm
But at what
financially able to be freer. I'm financially able to pay for the people in my life and support them and myself. And
But
I'm 19
is there
years
a cost
old.
to that?
Sorry?
Is there a cost to that? You're getting all this money.
I do think that there is a cost to that. Yes.
I think just like the people that produce fentanyl and stuff for hospitals, they're not responsible for all the overdoses and stuff.
You don't think the guys producing and running fentanyl, especially like fentanyl over the border, which is where a lot of the street drugs come from, you don't think they're morally responsible for the overdoses?
Not the ones that are medically producing it, people that are producing it over the border and shipping it here, yeah.
Like the Chinese who ship it from Mexico.
Wasn't like Pfizer, I don't know the exact drug companies, GSK, I don't know exactly which ones were producing all the opioids, but wasn't there a lawsuit that basically these drug companies were perhaps underselling or underrepresenting the degree to which these were harmful and dangerous and addictive? So there was some culpability, liability in that sense.
Even for the corporations,
even
yeah.
when it's through doctors prescribed, you have the it's coming from a certified drug. I don't know that. I'm sorry, I don't know what the term is, but
yeah, maybe I'm not educated enough on the
Like
drug
from
production to speak that much onto it. I'm just saying, with almost everything, there's a way to it, and they're not responsible for men's use of porn.
But at least opiates. Opiates have a medical use, which is they can numb pain, and so if you have a back injury, you can take them, and unfortunately people get addicted.
Well, you
sometimes.
think pornography doesn't have a good use?
I think it's
a release.
only
I don't
negative.
think, isn't
It's a
it
good
not
release.
recognized?
No.
I forget what it's called, but the psychology. Oh, sorry, I thought he was
Don't worry about
answering
it,
that.
go
Isn't it not recognized as like porn is actually an addiction? Isn't gambling the only thing that's actually recognized as an addiction in that way?
I think addictive behavior is behavior.
Sure,
that is
but it's
Yeah.
not
a petty
actually
thing.
medically.
What does that even mean, actually medically, though? Like,
Like I don't think
Like,
porn
What does it mean?
addiction
Like,
is a real
some
thing.
Some doctor said it or something. First of all, I think the medical community. What? What's so funny?
No, go ahead.
I don't know. Like, I remember there was a doctor a few years ago, this guy, Dr. Fauci, who said like a bunch of things that were completely false. And so I'm a little skeptical of the, political medical professionals. But you say, these sexual desires can't become addictive. But surely psychologists treat sex addiction. There are rehab clinics for it.
Well, sure, but
and so the porn industry tries to pretend like there's a total difference between sex addiction and sex addiction with a computer. But they're obviously they're very related.
I don't know. I think somewhere I saw like brain scans and like it didn't light up the same way as like everything.
No, it's different. It's definitely more degenerate for a man to look at pornography than to sleep with a woman.
Let's shift a little bit here.
We don't like science here. Damn.
So
I love real science is good, but like political science. Look, the scientists say a man can be a woman now. It's ridiculous. Crazy.
Ooh.
Switching gears
We don't want to
here.
go there.
Yeah.
who of you has a sugar daddy?
Sugar daddy.
No, but if you want to be my sugar daddy, hit me up.
I've had my
Or pay
share.
Pay pigs?
I've had my
have you
fair
had
share.
Pay pigs? Any pay pigs?
What's a pay pig?
A pay pig is a man who just absolutely lacks any character whatsoever, and just
Brian.
what?
You're
And just-
fetish shaming, kink shaming.
Yeah,
seriously.
that's messed up.
Pay pigs essentially just send women money.
Isn't that what they
For
all do though
nothing.
for the pictures and stuff?
No,
Isn't
they
that
know
what
they
OnlyFans
do
is?
without
Service.
reason.
Yeah.
It's typically
They just don't
they
get-
don't
They're
get
getting a
anything
service.
in return, really. I mean, they can, I guess.
So they're just like
Well, I
the
feel like
dumbest porn users in the entire
Pay
world.
pigs still get some
Basically, those are my favorite
emotional
ones.
service back.
Those are my favorite ones.
No,
What is it? So the fetish is just
Financial
So-
domination.
Yeah, financial domination.
That's
have you guys
They
ever
like being
have you
bankrupt.
guys ever had a pay pig or
Yes.
sugar daddy or sugar daddy? Cindy.
I had one. I don't know. I had some random number text me saying they'll send me like a couple thousand. I don't know.
Wait, you have a tweet on this, I feel like. We won't pull it up yet, Nick. We've got some tweets from you guys we're gonna look at. I'm trying to or maybe it was somebody else here at the table, I forgot. But
I did
how
tweet something about it.
What's that?
I did tweet something about.
So some guy paid you
Someone-
$1,000 for what?
Well, someone said I want to send you money. Like they messaged me saying that.
no one ever messages me that ever.
Bummer.
It's a big bummer. I've never met a pay pig. I guess that's probably good.
You're looking in the wrong places, I guess. You got to quit what you're doing. Try something new.
If I want a pay pig, I have to go to
But
very
yeah.
different places. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
What?
I have a cool story on one.
Sure, let's hear it.
So this one guy hit up my friend one time. It was like last year. He wanted our whole friend group to come over to his apartment, and we went. And when we showed up, he wanted to dress up in high heels and a ballerina dress and tiptoe around his apartment. And he opened up a drawer full of all these toys and whips, and he wanted us to whip him, like straight up whip him. And he gave us thousands and thousands of dollars a person.
He's a kinky boy.
Straight up. Crazy. He just wanted to empty his pockets to us. Like, that's all he wanted. He was like, I want you to literally, like, make me bleed until I give you all of my money. We didn't actually make him
physically
bleed.
bleed, or you mean
We
like
didn't
bleed
actually
is-
make him bleed for real, but he was like, whip me. Like, it was weird.
Excuse me?
It's true. Real life
Like
story.
the humiliation king.
Yeah, like,
That's
you feel
people's
bad
king.
doing
That's
that?
people's king.
I didn't hurt him for real. It was like a whip. It was like a, you know, like what you
Little-
buy from the
but you
store.
humiliated
Bleeding
him, though.
Riz.
Oh, I mean, you know, he asked for it, and I was getting paid. I mean, I wouldn't have done it if he didn't tell me to.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
That's crazy. Are any of these guys married, or they're all single?
No, yeah, see, a lot of them, I think it's really sad. I think they either have lost their wife, which is really sad, or they just have gone through a divorce or never end up with anyone at all.
I believe the divorce one more than the
Yeah.
widower one.
No, that I've experienced that more, actually.
The widower?
Mm-hmm.
That's very surprising to me. Like they had a
Crazy.
good marriage, and they met. He's like, I'll Dotsie.
It's-
I
you
miss
know-
Dotsie.
you know
I love
what?
sitting on the porch with Dotsie. You know what I'll do? I'll call up a 19-year-old to come smack me around with a whip while I wear high heels.
See, it's
That'll bring back the
crazy.
memories of my
It's
beloved late
crazy.
wife.
I think people are just
domestic
going a little
abuse,
mentally
Riz.
ill, but like, yeah, I was profiting
for
off
sure.
it, so
You
I
were
took
at least you got
advantage.
yeah.
Good times. Good times. What about you? Have you had a sugar daddy, pay pig?
No, actually.
No. Okay.
No.
All right. Maybe it's.
I'm not opposed,
Seems
so.
like you're fishing for one. What about you?
She said.
I'm not.
Nicolette.
I have had sugar daddy. Don't currently. So if you want to apply, hit my DMs.
For real.
No, I have not.
Come on, Mia.
I have not.
Mia. All right.
She's
Well,
so sweet. I believe her.
I think it's an act.
No, I had a great
not-
sugar daddy.
I think it's
He
an
was
act.
like a really cool guy. Like he was really cool. He gave me a bunch of money, took me on trips, my friends on trips, flew us out. It was
Your
fun.
friend and your friends on trips.
Of
How many
course.
trips did he take you on?
5, 6.
5, 6.
He
Wait,
took
question.
me too.
Yeah, he
took
took
me
her too.
to a
She
Travis Scott concert. I liked him.
Oh.
Your sugar daddy did?
She's my best friend.
How old was the guy?
He's in his 40s.
In his 40s. Were you guys?
No, we were not hooking up.
Come on, be honest.
No, I'm dead ass.
So he was spending tens of thousands.
I kissed him. But look.
That's it.
Yeah, but
That's it.
in Atlanta, pretty privilege is such a thing. Like if you're 40, mid 40s, you don't have a woman in your life. All you want to do is just be seen around town with a bad bitch. Like they don't really care. Like they really don't care. And
Wait, what is a bad bitch?
That's the kind of woman you want to be
what do
seen
you
around
think
town.
of bad
with.
bitches?
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think of bad bitches?
Too white to have an opinion on that.
Am I not what?
No, but like, here, no. Hold on. I'm not talking.
He doesn't
skin
want to
color.
appropriate any
I'm not
culture.
talking skin color. I'm talking. I'm too white.
He's white.
I don't even know what that means, to be honest. I'm just. Huh? No, it's
Skin
not.
color?
No. Like
He's saying he's a white
You're not
supremacist.
making
no.
any
I'm
sense,
not saying that. I'm just saying I listen to like jazz and Pearl Jam. I don't bad bitch that I'm
Jazz,
not,
that
like,
famously white musical genre. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Super. Yeah.
Okay,
Hip hop,
Atlanta's just
R&B,
a little
and
more.
jazz.
Atlanta's a little more ratchet and ghetto than that. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like here. Just a
Like
little different.
I don't refer like my girlfriend. She's an attractive woman. I wouldn't call her a
Okay,
bad
well,
bitch.
okay, if a girl,
you
like,
know?
okay, look.
I know what you're
if
saying.
you're
I know
at
to
the
call her a
club-
bitch.
If
I
you're
know
at
it's
the
not
club,
derogatory.
respectful
No.
shit.
It's not any disrespectful. Like, if I'm at the club and I walk in and I see a section full of baddies, I'm like, oh, those are some bad bitches right
Baddies.
there. Like, those are
What
some
is
bad
bottom
bitches.
a mile away?
Are there
you know?
goodies?
What?
Are there goodies?
Baddies.
The baddies.
Like there's baddies, and then are there goodies?
There's baddies.
I think no, bad meaning like
The goody,
you're
like,
just
serum
like you're sexy,
vibes,
like you're
like,
fine.
my
Like
goodness.
not bad, like good or bad, like you're bad as in you're fine, like you're attractive, like
Yeah, bad
you're
as
a
in
bad
you're good.
bitch.
When I
You know,
was-
it makes sense,
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I was too white for this. I mean, I'm too.
Okay, I
nerdy.
get what you're
But
saying.
I also
I get
feel
what you're
like
saying.
I also feel like
I don't
if a
have
guy
the-
was
the-
to,
the
like, pull up and
parlance.
say,
I'm-
"You're a bad bitch.
What?
Can I get your number?"
No, that's not
But I
attractive.
feel-
That's
I
not
know
something
that's
you
not-
would say.
I know
But
that I
like
would be
girl
like,
on
yeah.
girl, I'm like, oh, you're a bad bitch.
Wait. So, anyways, I apologize. I do.
I feel like
One
I
digression. I got.
Yeah.
Why would one hire a baddie to be seen around town? Like, what? If you're going to hire a baddie,
I
it
don't
seems
know.
it would be for
Hires.
yeah.
Hired. is
Hired.
crazy.
You said you got money from the guy.
I did.
Yeah, so you're not dating him. You're not
W9?
married. Probably right. Like, but what I'm saying is, I can understand why someone would hire a baddie to like come over to his house for like 5 minutes or whatever. But I don't understand why a guy would pay a baddie
I
tens
honestly
of thousands
think
of
they're
dollars.
lonely. Like I genuinely, from sitting and talking to so many of these guys, and like before I did OnlyFans, I was on websites where I would just go out with men like a few times a week to go on paid dates. They'd take me out to dinner and pay me a few $100s a date, and that's literally what I did before I did OnlyFans. And
Many such cases.
when
Many such cases.
Is that what an escort is? Where you actually escort a man to an event that's not like a hooker thing?
I don't know, but
There's different like
Were you
levels
on
I would
to
just-
it.
Was it seeking? Was it
no.
through seeking? How would you find them?
Am I allowed to say the website? Can I put everyone on real quick? What's your price? What's your price?
What's your price?
Wait,
We on
What's your
Shark Tank.
price?
We
Everyone
on Shark
needs to
Tank.
go on What's Your Price.
That's what it's called.
That's not the kind of name
Oh, it's
where I
another
would
show?
think I should go on this website.
Wait,
right?
what?
You know, what's
Okay.
your price? You're saying
Because you're married.
What's,
well, because I'm married. But I think even if I
If
weren't
you're looking for money and you're broke, go out, sit for dinner, get paid to go on a dinner date and eat some sushi and leave. Like,
find your
why
pay
would you
pig.
not do that?
to find your pay pig. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. I'm never
to find
looking for
pay
money.
pig. Like, seriously.
Wait, so okay.
Is this
Qu-
interesting for y'all?
It
Yeah, a
is.
little bit.
I feel-
Because I guess the thing about it is, you're not engaging in any particular immoral act, I guess. But
I tell them from the start, I'm not a prostitute. You can't pay me to have sex with you. But if you want me to give you my time and energy and sit and listen to you,
Wait,
sure.
what's the name of the
Therapist.
website again?
yeah, hold on, let me write
What's
this
your
down.
price? Okay.
But is it? You are still kind of commoditizing yourself, right? You're becoming like a kind of like a plaything for this guy, even if it's not sexual.
To me, that's fine.
look
like,
at-
it's like straight up, if I'm getting paid to hang out with you, that's the easiest thing I could be doing right now. Like, I'm not
But it'd be better to
working-
go on a real date, wouldn't it?
I've been on plenty of real dates.
You get paid for those too?
No.
But it's like a real date could
I'd
go
rather.
somewhere.
I've had relationships that's gone somewhere, but at like this very particular moment in my life, I'm more focused on making money, building my own brand, building my own empire than on what other 20 young guys in their 20s are doing right now.
Why
Like
do you want to build an empire alone, though? What fun is an empire alone?
It's not. You're right, but I'm not with the person that like. I don't know who I'll end up with. Like.
Yeah, no, I have friends, forget about like OnlyFans or whatever. I have friends who say, I say, hey man, you dating anyone right now? I say, no, I'm really just grinding. I'm focused on work. And I hear this, especially the millennials and the Zoomers. They say, I'm working, man. I'm grinding. I'm hustling. And then someday in the unforeseen future, then when I've finally ground enough that I've got my empire and blah, blah,
If
blah,
the right
whatever.
guy came around.
Yeah, but I think it's totally backwards.
If
Why-
the right guy came around, I would be with him.
Did you swim in high school?
I played soccer in college.
You
Muscles?
look kind of jacked.
Soccer in college, yeah, I am
like that,
a
but
little jacked.
Good shoulders, solid
Thank
shoulders.
you. Thank
solid.
you.
Do you work your shoulders in soccer? Isn't that like a leg thing?
You work your whole body in soccer.
Do you?
That's
What
some real
position did you
shit.
play in
Wait.
soccer?
Okay, I
played
looked
forward.
up this website.
okay.
It's
you're a runner.
okay. It's
You're a
ridiculous.
runner.
You looked it up?
I pulled it up on my computer.
Literally, you can send people requests for how much money you want, and then they'll
So
just
what's
take
like
it.
a typical, like how many requests have you received total?
Ever?
Total from the website. How many
Shit,
men
I don't
have
know. I've had it
messaged?
for so long.
Hundreds,
Yeah,
thousands?
thousands.
What's the typical, so they are offering you money for what? Like just to
To
meet
go
up?
out,
To meet
to
up?
go out for dinner. I literally or lunch.
What's like the average offering? The typical
like,
offering.
I don't go for any less than like 300 or 400 to just go sit at dinner. Like I'm like,
Okay.
That's
and
that.
does it say like for one out, like is there a time
so like,
requested or?
so the guys have to pay to chat with you on this. So that's how you know it's like a real deal. They're not just fucking around. Yeah, they pay to chat with you.
Do you know what the cost
I
is
don't,
just to
because
even
the
chat?
girls don't have to do that.
Okay.
But you can send a request to them. You have a profile. My real name's not on the profile.
Sure.
They see my pictures. They can request me and send me an offer. If I don't like the offer, I can counter request the offer and send them how much I would actually want.
Wait, you're gonna haggle over
Yeah,
it.
I have
can
a question
say, no,
for you.
That's not enough.
I have a question for you though. Like how many men have you talked to on the app? Because you says it costs them money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
How many have you met up with? And it sounds like you've not hooked up with them, right?
No, I've hung out with a bunch of tricks in Atlanta though. Like they're
Tricks.
everywhere.
They're called tricks.
Yeah, like
Marks.
tricks.
I've heard marks.
Marks, I believe.
Marks.
Really?
Tricks.
No, it's like the term there. It's like a
Surely
trick.
these men.
Tricks. You refer to them as tricks,
I don't say that to their face.
but they are tricks.
yeah,
These guys want more than dinner, correct?
for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving it to them.
You've not.
I just string them along
None?
enough. No, I just string them along until they're done, and they're like, "Okay, well, I don't want to do this anymore because you're not giving me what I want." And then they leave,
How many-
and I move on to the next
how
one and do
many-
the same thing.
How many total individual men have you met up with through this website in person for paid dates?
A lot more than I can count. Like a guesstimate?
Yeah, over 100.
Yeah,
More
about
than
100.
More than 200.
about probably like 100.
Between 100 and 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
When was the last time you paid for dinner? That's an amazing. That's like almost a year's worth of dinner.
Shit. I mean, I haven't gone out on dates in
What's going on in
like that in a long
ATL?
time.
Holy
Like
shit.
yeah, for real. Come on. Since I started fans, I didn't do that. But before fans, that was the shit.
Wait, so you make, just to be clear, so you will make what, 500 for a dinner?
Yeah.
500 times 100 or 50
Well,
times?
like, okay, say
500 times
say maybe not
100.
500.
Was
Say
that 50,000?
300. Say
Is that
300.
$50,000? Wait, is my math right here? Hold on.
She's saying
Is
300 now.
Yeah, say 300.
Okay, so $30,000
Yeah.
just for going out to dinners, and I assume that's I assume
Actually,
there's
right
multiple.
before I pulled in, one of my tricks sent me $5,000. So-
5,000.
Yeah.
Wait, and I'm not done doing a full accounting here.
Okay, you can keep going.
I'm actually an IRS agent.
What is that taxed at? You know, like capital gains or regular
Do they give you
income?
cash?
The one just now is Apple Pay.
Okay.
You know?
So
You should probably talk to a
0%
You might want to talk to a CPA about that one.
It's a bad audit to get.
Wait, so okay, hold on. So, and there's some men I assume you only go on one date, but then there's some men that you'll continue.
I make it known from the start what I will and will not do. Like I'm here to.
Really?
Yes.
So you'll outright tell them.
Yes.
By the way, like you'll sit there across
And
from them.
I've-
By the way,
No,
I'm
before
just
I'll
here
ever meet
for your
them.
money.
Before I'll ever
I'm
meet
here
them.
just for your money. I don't
say it like
I don't
that.
want to ever have you disgust me. I don't want to have sexual intercourse with you ever. But
Basically,
please
no,
continue giving me your money, you pathetic. Is
Okay,
that
but
kind
look,
of
if it was coming
the-
from me, like saying it like to you, and
Yeah.
like I word it differently, and it comes across differently, and it doesn't seem like
Right,
that.
but that's like
It's like
the,
from
the
me.
subtext.
They know why they're
guy.
there. Straight up, they know why they're there.
Why,
they know
why
what's
are
going
they
on.
there?
Because they want to be seen with a bad bitch.
Oh, they're not trying.
By whom? By whom?
Everyone around them, all their friends.
Really?
Tricks. All their friends are tricks.
Tricks.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Tricks.
What's the app
So if
called?
they're all in on the trick, why isn't it still
Everyone
impressive
needs to get
them?
on this.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
Why,
What did you say?
if all the friends are also tricks, then they're all engaging in the same game. But then they all know that it's all fake.
Yeah, they know it's
So
fake.
they're not impressing anyone.
They all know it's fake.
Right, so there's no one to impress. To be seen.
They're impressing each other with which person's sugar baby's hotter and who's giving more money.
Like seriously, one of my
Wow,
tricks
that
let me
is
drive his Bentley
thoroughly-
around town for months. One of my tricks let me
Depraved.
drive his Bentley around Atlanta for months. Like they
Wait, I want the scope of this here. Let's get a little more
Seriously?
details.
People have Bentleys in Atlanta. I'm actually shocked
It
to
was
hear
his
that.
10th
I didn't know they had
car. I
internet
asked
there.
for
I know. I
it.
figured like maybe a nice Lexus would be.
No.
a
Wait.
Which one is it?
Don't,
No,
Cindy.
Oh, by the way, it's not on the App Store. You have to go on
it's a
Google.
website. Okay.
Oh, it's on Google.
Okay. Wait.
Wow.
And then you can add
Tim
it.
Cook.
And then you can
Here.
add it as an app afterwards.
Here, Cindy, can you just get off the phone? Okay. Wait, let's get a little scope scale here. So, do one or more of your tricks or whatever your I don't know what the
They're tricks.
tricks.
Yeah. There you go.
Do any of them pay for your rent?
They have, yeah.
Now, here's a question for you. Do you have multiple at the same time? Like, how many currently are you like
So-
finessing?
Seriously, for real, I like.
Seriously, for real.
No.
Let's get into it.
No cap.
No cap. Bet.
No route cap.
So as of lately, like the past couple months, it's just been one guy. But
Just one?
normally, because, yeah. But now he's going broke. So now it's
Because
going
why?
back to.
You're making
I
him
am
broke.
literally why. I am literally why.
Wait, he's going broke?
He is.
She took all his money.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, how much, question for this guy in particular, do you have a sense of the...
Internal Revenue Service
Oh.
donated $200. We will be looking into Maddie in the coming weeks.
Ah, okay.
Internal revenue.
IRS.
Yeah, IRS.
There you have it.
20,000 new agents.
This current guy, yeah, exactly. It's terrible. This new guy, how much
New.
total, or well,
The old
this sole
guy.
guy, the current guy, how much total has he paid you, if you had to estimate?
Shit, probably 100K.
100K?
Over what period of time?
6 months.
What's in
His face. Straight up.
in one payment? What's the biggest individual payment? Like, has he sent you 10K? What's the biggest payment? 10K. And
Probably.
he sent you over 100K.
He hasn't sent
Now,
it to me.
well-
I'm saying not that money. 100K hasn't been sent to my bank account. 100K has probably been
No,
spent
total,
on me.
total,
Spent
right.
on me
I
on
see.
including the trips, including
Okay.
whatever
Gifts.
else. Yeah.
But
yeah.
also cash.
like he got
just
me my
straight
purse
cash.
over there. Cute
What
purse.
kind of purse is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Fendi. Wow.
Oh, you might want to check, make sure it's not a knockoff, but
That's true. That's how they
Shit.
skirt
You can
the-
check and make
Temu?
sure for me. I don't think it is.
because I'm an expert in
Okay, you can check then.
spotting.
Do you buy
thing.
knockoffs? Do you
No,
buy
I-
on Temu?
I don't.
What
buy
is the-
any
What is
purses?
What's the? I guess the fetish is just a kind of masochism.
No, yeah, literally.
It is, right? But it's like the worst kind.
Literally.
You know, if you smack
Literally.
the guy with the whip, then it has a bruise. But if you drain the guy's bank account, then he's broke. That's crazy.
That's
want,
a
though.
that's a
That's what they
fetish
want.
for
That's
some
literally
people.
yeah. It literally is
Yeah.
what they. It's
Isn't that
so
a good,
weird.
Isn't
It's
that
so
a good
weird.
argument against like, hey man, if you want to do it, just do it? Because like some people want things that will literally bankrupt them and that will
Yeah.
ruin their lives.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Oh, just a few more questions of the scale of this. So, you said this one guy, he's paid you over 100,000. Is he your biggest whale? Do you have other whales?
I thought they were tricks.
All of a sudden,
Well,
you know the
whales-
terminology.
Yeah.
Whales
I'm
are
confused.
like in the same thing.
Like
with
in a casino. Yeah, yeah,
Like the
okay.
guys who spend
Is he
big
the, are
money.
you asking me if he's the one who spent the most amount of money on me so far?
Well, do you have other whales, or have you had other
I
whales?
have at the moment. No, and
Is
at
he the one who spent the most on you?
Yes.
Okay, so have you had other guys spend over 100,000 on you?
No.
Just him. Okay. If you had to,
I've had other guys fly me out,
If-
pay for me and my girls to go on trips,
Wait,
send me
remind me,
money,
how
but
old are you
not
again?
like that. I'm 19.
19.
So when did it start?
When did this start? When I was 18.
Okay. Wait.
That's
so
crazy. That's
Yeah.
such a short period of time.
Yeah, for real. My life changed a lot in the last year.
Word. Wait.
Word.
So.
No cap.
And you said you've gone on hundreds of these dates with men. Some of them very short, maybe one off, and then some of them
Look,
there was
they're
some continuity.
everywhere in Atlanta. Like
No.
they're everywhere. You
No,
can
that's fine.
just be hanging out, and it's a trick. next
If you
to
had to estimate,
seriously, he's like, "Here's my money. Here's my wallet. Go have fun. Go shop." Seriously.
wait. So total, if you add up all the men, all the money they've given you, total, how much do you think? 200, 300,000? More?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
500,000?
No, a few hundred thousand.
Should we say 300,000 safe number?
You can say that if you want. I don't really know.
You
I don't know.
You should get a bookkeeper, probably.
Yeah.
Shit. Never
Shit.
been one to really keep track, but.
But you're 19.
Yeah.
You've through this website you've been able to.
Bobby
Get,
Freeman donated $200.
Hey, Bobby, thank you, man.
Michael, how can you explain to these girls that selling themselves for money will negatively impact their chances of having what they want beyond this money BS? Drop some divine truth for them.
Well, that's a big request, but I guess it sort of gets to what we were talking about earlier, about impeding your potential to get married. But even with the money thing, let's say, put the men aside for a second. You want to have careers for whatever reason, right? You're spending a lot of time and effort on this, right? It's real work, and
Maddie's CPA donated $200. To be clear, he only gifted her $34,000 last year, which is the maximum he could give as a joint filer.
Yeah, that's very important for the agents to see that.
Yes.
So even if you just wanted to have a career for whatever reason, like all the time that you're spending on this right now is time where you're producing this content, but the content is not going to build up the potential for a career after old father time sets in and you're not going to be able to sell for as much money and get $300,000 off your tricks. So wouldn't it be, I had a buddy who was a Twitch gamer. He would just play video games on Twitch and people would give him money for it.
Yeah.
And
he would do that for me too. I'm a streamer.
So part of the reason he stopped doing it, he was making good money, but he stopped doing it because he said, I'm not building any skills. I'm not building anything that's productive for me. So when this money runs out, it's it. It looks like big money now. It's very tempting. But once it's gone, and then I'm going to be left without skills to do a job. And then more importantly, I might be impeded from having what I really desire, which is a family and a
that's
good life.
a valid point. That's a very valid point. I think, in my opinion, right now, because I know how much money I'm making, it's my job to budget it and save it in a way that if I'm ever in the position later on in life that I'm not doing this job anymore and I need to figure out what I can do next.
How much money is enough?
Man, can you close the door?
You can always.
I know the
Here's
answer.
the thing with money. You can always make money. Like, money isn't everything.
Yeah.
You can have.
Yeah.
You can have $1 billion in your bank account, and you could live in your mansion,
and it can all be gone.
unhappy and everything. I think that what's important is actually enjoying what you do, your purpose on Earth, and keep doing new things.
Doing the good thing.
And reinvest it and start new businesses. It's not just when you quit what you're doing, where you're like, oh fuck, you can use that money and start your own companies and do whatever. You're actually passionate about.
I use my fans' money to start up a clothing company of my own too. So I know there's other things that I'll build throughout the years of my own too, that I'll be able to fall back on those when I know there's gonna come a day when I'm gonna say I don't want to do fans anymore. When that day is, I don't know, but I know when it comes, I'll have money saved up to where I'll be able to do that.
My only point is, if you're saying I'm doing it now because money's so good, I just got to keep making more money. I will tell you, having gone from not having really any money to having some money, you think there's a number. You're like, if I make X amount, then I'll stop doing this thing. There's no real number. You just, the more you get, you're going to want more of it. And I think if you're setting yourself up in a position, if you say, this is the number, you're going to keep doing it.
I agree. I just also came from I came from nothing. I didn't grow up with this.
It's even more tempting.
Lifestyle, that I've been thrown into. I have to remind. I was raised in a trailer park. I was raised with nothing.
That's why it's so tempting.
So, for me, now that I can support myself and support the people that are in my life that I want to support, it's all worth it to me.
But you're justifying it to yourself.
Yes,
in that,
I am.
But you could do something else. And
I definitely could, and I do other things. Like I said, I started.
I'm saying you could do something else in lieu of this, and you'd still be able to support yourself.
I agree with you.
You wouldn't have as much money, though.
I agree with you.
So that's not really the justification. The justification is, hey, I came from nothing. I've never had any money in my life. Oh my goodness, I'm making such an insane amount of money. I'm living this crazy lifestyle. How can I possibly say no to that? But the answer is because it might be hurting me in the long run, right?
Sorry, say that again?
Because it might hurt me in the long run if I'm not developing certain skills and if I'm not moving forward to...
what skills am I not developing by
any
doing
other
this
job you would be doing.
But I've been working since I was 14 years old. I was a preschool teacher before this started. I've served in restaurants.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do a ton of
I've
things.
nannied, done all different types of weird, whatever. Yeah. I have acquired other skill sets throughout the years.
But every minute that you spend doing this is a minute you're not spending building up a skill or forming a relationship that might pay off later on in a better way.
I would disagree with that
because if you're an OnlyFans creator, you can't build other skills.
You can,
You're
but
building
not,
your
but not
time.
while you're doing OnlyFans.
I think
Yeah,
If you're
you
doing
can manage your time.
OnlyFans,
Unless
you're
you
an
can entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
There's 24 hours
One
in
at
a
a time,
day.
one at a time.
There's 24 hours in a day. I'm sure you can manage your time. And
No, you're right. You'll have other hours perhaps to do something else, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is and you spend more than a minute or two doing your OnlyFans stuff.
Yeah.
Every minute you
Peace
spend
Mom
it.
donated $200. How many of you girls would be proud of or happy if your daughter or little sister engaged in this work, behavior, or attitudes?
Here, just really quick around the table. Go ahead.
if it's her calling, if it's, you know, my
Her
sibling.
calling.
Yeah, her calling to do this kind of work, like
Make BJ videos.
well, if she
She's
wants to, I
called
mean,
to-
like,
okay.
but like, no. If she
did
feels
anybody hear
comfortable
that?
making
What? Wait,
sex
did
work
anybody hear that?
content, then yeah.
Wait, that
That was me.
That was
sorry.
you. Holy! I don't know if anybody. Do you guys
Did
know
it
that
echo?
song? I'm blue, dabo dee, dabo.
If I was
Da-ba-dee, da-ba-dee,
That was the.
da-ba-dee,
I don't know if the
da-ba-dee.
viewer, like the way you said, it sounded like the start of "I'm blue, dabo dee."
Okay.
Did anybody? Did the chat? Okay, I'm sorry.
Did y'all catch
It
on?
was. It was uncanny.
What
Sweet.
band was that?
It was Eiffel 65 or something.
Deep cut.
Did anybody else hear the
No.
I'm blue? Did anybody? Did anybody else? Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. Jesus. Okay, what in response to the TTS? Would you be cool with your daughter or sister? I guess
No,
doing
I wouldn't.
doing that. What
If
about-
it made them happy, yeah.
made them happy. Okay, what about you?
I definitely would not want my daughter or little sister to do it just because of things that come along with it that I've heard about, but I don't think I'm the moral police, and I feel like my responsibility would be to just be there for them and continue supporting them regardless.
They're not getting cut off if my daughter decides she wants to do this. I understand, but my daughter's also never going to be in the position to have to do what I had to do because she's going to be taken care of.
I'd be neutral.
Neutral?
About it.
I think I'd support them regardless. I obviously wouldn't want that, but
Wait,
yeah.
I would expect
Really
you to
quick.
say the opposite.
I
You were saying
mean,
so many
well-
sensible things earlier.
I'm still very sensible. I obviously, like I said, it brings bad, just as she said as well. But it's not that I'm gonna hate her or my
No, you wouldn't hate
daughter
her,
or sister,
but would you desire it for her?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't desire it for
Wait,
her.
really quick, I want to clarify. You
what?
said
I
if
was
she
so-
had to do it, but
Yeah,
like
that's
in my scenario is like I was working a corporate job where I was making 6 figures and I quit it to do OnlyFans.
Right.
Yeah.
So
How
it's
much do you
nobody
make now?
has to do
How much do you make now?
6 figures.
Do you make more or less? Or same?
Doesn't matter. 6 figures regardless.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
6 figures, there's a big range.
What was your job
Right,
before?
it's none of your
What was your job
business.
before?
Respectfully, I was a director
HR?
of sales. No, I
Oh,
wasn't
okay. All
actually.
right. Wait.
Nice try, though.
I do want to wrap up here a little bit on not the show, but on the sugar daddy conversation. Then I need to get a couple chats in. Who else has had the similar tricks?
One
Any
of my
tricks?
He
one of
said
my
tricks.
fans tweeted, and
It's fine. Nick can fix that. I
Okay.
guess. One of the mics fell. It's fine.
so one of my fans said they would pay like $10,000 for me to spit on them.
You had that too?
Stop it.
Sounds about right.
Did you take?
Sounds
Did you
about
do
right.
it?
Yeah, I said, yeah, I'm down.
Did he pay
So
you?
you did it?
Yeah,
He paid
cashed.
you 10K.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. So you met up with him in person, spit on
Well,
him.
he
said
hasn't.
10K
He
and
hasn't.
left?
We're still planning on it.
Wait, hold
Wait,
on.
what?
We're still
paid?
planning on the meetup. He already sent me the money.
Oh.
He already
He
sent
sent
you
you
the
the
money.
money
So you don't even
before?
have to spit on him now. Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
when we
guess
when
you
we
could
meet
sue
up.
him.
Contractually.
I don't know what the law
Contractually.
looks like.
He didn't
dead ass,
receive
he already
the
sent you the
goods,
money?
I guess. So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He could.
Is this
yeah.
like a spit on him and leave, or spit on him and ask him how his day was?
Yeah, dead ass. Like, does he want to stay and talk
That's
afterwards?
a good question
Yeah.
over there. Cindy?
He wants to hang out, talk, get to know me. He's a fan.
It's like
So is that before the spit or after the spit?
I haven't
Like,
spit. He
does-
sent the money. We're securing it. You know what I mean?
But at
Loose
what point
Pussy
will he
Energy
ask how your day
donated
is?
$200.
Oh.
I'm blue. Da-ba-dee da-ba day da-ba-dee da-ba day da-ba-dee da-ba
that's
day
totally
da-ba-dee da-ba day da-ba-dee da-ba
That's good.
day da-ba-dee da-ba day
It's so bad,
da-ba-dee
though.
da-ba
It's not
day
even close.
I'm blue. Da-ba-dee da-ba day da-ba-dee da-ba.
loose
It takes me right
loose
back to
pussy
1999.
energy.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. Wait, so my question was though, do you like as soon as you see him, is it like you're going for it, or is there a
He
little,
would probably
like, well,
want
hold
me-
on. Do you build a bit of rapport first before the spit?
Yeah, definitely. We have,
Little rapport.
build
I
like
think
a
a
relationship.
rapport-
He has my number.
Yes.
When we meet up, he probably wants me to spit in his mouth.
That's wow. Okay.
Oh. So is it like
I don't know where he wants me to spit, but like I'll spit. Like
That's
No. You need to find that out before.
Yeah.
Actually, he already paid you. It. Don't even go.
Good times. Here, let me get a couple chats.
Then he'll be
here.
a trick. If you don't give him anything, he's just a trick.
Just a trick.
I learned that today.
Trick.
We need like.
Oh,
a
I wouldn't
full
do that.
vocab
I want him
list.
to continue.
See, Atlanta has its own vocabulary. I swear to you.
Okay. Here, let me read a couple chats here. We have Bender the Offender. Do these ladies realize that by them being involved in the pornography industry, they will be unintentionally trapping themselves in a constant cycle of regret and relationship issues? Your thoughts? Well, we've kind of talked about that ad
extensively
nauseum.
talked about that.
But
really gone over that.
Bender the Offender, how about show of hands? Do you realize? Do you realize?
Oh, yep. We realize.
Or do you not realize?
I just disagree.
Realize or not
I just-
realize?
I
I just
blatantly
don't
disagree.
This is great honesty.
Yeah.
This is great honesty.
This is
Like
like-
the first step to doing anything really that is like edifying is to like face reality honestly.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Reality.
Good
No,
honesty.
like you can have your own opinion on it, and
Yeah.
everyone.
You
will
know
have their own.
what though? Here's my I do have a thought on this, is that to what degree is it cope when it comes to, oh, these girls who do porn and OnlyFans, they're just going to be miserable the rest of their lives and never find a partner. When what if what's going on in society is shift? I don't know if it's the Overton window, if that would apply to this, but it's shifting to the point where there's so many women involved in it. It's becoming more and more acceptable. Men are having there's fewer women that are falling into more tradition, like modesty or tradition, to the point where they are just going to have to accept and quote unquote settle for this sort of thing.
But the women have to settle for the men too, because the men are all like, 95% of these men are looking at porn regularly anyway. So, it's a kind of a mutual degradation, which is not to recommend it, but
Goddamn, what are you
they're like, there is another
guys
option.
dropping
Yeah,
about?
it sounds
But
like
you
a
might
brick.
be right. Yeah.
Okay. We have Fally here. Sup, Michael.
Sup.
2 at whatever podcast panels in 2 days, and you're the official reviewer for Tom McDonald songs. Busy man. Also been waiting months to say this. Love the hairstyle. Stay truthful, bro.
Thank you. I've had this hairstyle since I was 6.
My dad has
Oh,
that
I love
hairstyle.
that.
Wait,
Does
Can
he? A man has great taste.
Can we do a Google of young Michael Knowles? And it's true.
I might pop
I
up,
was
like baby Michael
I
Knowles or
found
something,
some like back during your acting years.
Oh, no.
Same hairstyle.
I
that
had one back in my derelict. We
Derelict.
talked about all the shameful things I ever did: party too much, go dating around stuff.
Too much
The
partying.
most shameful, obviously, is being a professional actor. And I had this headshot once where I had glasses on, and I looked exactly like Rachel Maddow, the left-wing commentator, and I looked like a lesbian. And that's why I don't wear them now.
I love
But
that for you.
Yeah.
You probably look so cute.
Stop it. Of course you have that opinion. You might be kind of blurry for me right now, but I can't wear them
can't see.
anymore. I
You
can't. It's a
got
little
anything
blurry.
I'm blurry?
for us, Nick?
You're a little blurry.
Really?
You got anything
You
for
are.
us, Nick?
A little
How
blurry.
many?
What you got?
12?
Yeah.
All right, look at this. Oh my
gosh.
Come on,
That's
get
my
out
That's so cute.
of here. Come
Wait,
on. There's-
okay. What
Whoa,
were
hold
you
on.
wearing?
Here we go.
What is
Here
that
we
photo?
go.
Oh,
Michael, what's the sex
All right, I'll
Derelict.
tell you what. Let me tell you
Derelict.
that
What's that?
picture.
His
That
pretty
picture
face.
that was from a Yale thesis film, and I'm laying in bed in this film. There's another fella. We're not doing anything. We're lying in bed.
Nothing
and
wrong with it?
I want to. Well, no, there's a lot wrong with it. But what I will say is that is the most heterosexual thing ever to happen at Yale University, and I won't hear otherwise from anyone. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
It's amazing though. When I was an actor, I played all these parts. I was a football player in a play or a movie. I was a soldier. I did this. No one ever brings those up.
Nobody.
But you play one half gay guy in a Yale thesis film, all of a sudden that's
Just
the only
one.
one they want to talk about.
Just one.
Just one.
Why do you think there's something wrong with that?
Well, because I think that men and women are made for each other and the sexes are complementary, and that the telos of our sexuality is to get married and have children.
That's really depressing.
Huh.
I have to agree. I think God
You agree
said,
with me, or
yeah,
you
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like God said that, like, you know, we have two genders, a girl and a guy. And
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, man.
exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
The world
And so that's why-
also. Sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was going to say the world also isn't how God intended right now. The world is very different.
Because it's fallen.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Right.
all right. Good times.
I don't consider myself very religious, but I consider myself spiritual, and never have I ever. I do believe in God, and I believe in a lot of the things the Bible says. Never have I ever felt a certain type of guilt for being gay.
I don't think you're gay, though. I don't think
You said you were bi.
I think.
Did you say you're bi?
You know, I think the way that I see.
You don't think she's gay?
If you
I don't
saw,
even really know. I mean, sure, I take your word for it that you're attracted to women.
I'm
but
very attracted to women. I love nothing more than women. I
But you
think I'm
said
very
you-
gay. I think
Yeah.
I'm the most gay I could ever be.
I thought you said that you like guys, too.
You know, my
Sometimes.
dad
I
used to
think
think
she's
my dad
open
used
to
to
it.
think it was a phase too, and so did all my siblings, and so did all my friends. And then they saw the way I act around women and how crazy I become when I really like a woman.
But
And
you
they're
told
like,
us-
no, you're definitely gay.
You told us at the beginning of this show that you were bisexual.
Yeah, I
which
guess
is-
I'm a little 5% bisexual. I have a 5% for men out
Is there a
there,
test
but
All right,
for
there
that?
you go.
Yeah, there's a
I
test
wish
for
there was a
that.
test for it. That would give me an easier answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, I mean,
Yeah.
people have all. I mean, it's a fallen world, so we have all sorts of disordered desires and things. I'm not saying we need to chuck.
I don't
people
think my
off,
desire
you
for
know.
women is disordered.
I've never seen Sophia not with a woman. Like
I
I've
love
never seen her like look
No,
at a
I
man.
believe the
and-
95%. I
I've
believe
never
that.
seen her look at a man and think I want him, but I've seen her look at women and say I want
I
her.
have to have her, or
Yeah,
else
I
I'm going to
want
go
her.
clinically insane.
For
I
instance,
want
though, you
her.
said you wanted kids.
I do want kids.
But the way to
yeah.
have kids is with
There's
a guy.
other
Not
ways to
only
have
way.
kids. That's just the traditional
In the
way.
beginning
There
of
is
this
no way to have
conversation,
a
you
kid
brought up
without a guy.
adopting a
possible.
child.
I could
I-
get a
yeah.
sperm
But there's a
donor.
guy
I could
involved.
adopt. There's
Yeah.
a lot of kids in the, adoption system here in the U.S. that
Oh.
Opie's mom
Need a home.
donated $200.
TTS.
Raise your hand if you have ever lied on social media, posting yacht pics your friend's mom took you on.
Who is
Bonus
this?
points if you brought coke and did adult content on a family trip.
Okay, who?
that's
The
all.
last
That's all
part,
twisted.
the last part, I have made content on a family trip,
Okay.
but my family knows I do
And did
OnlyFans, so
coke?
they're very.
Let me.
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
no.
get.
I don't do
Thank
That's
you,
my mom trying to
Poopy's
start drama
mom.
because we got in a
Appreciate it.
big fight. So just.
Okay, all right. Wait.
Hi,
is it-
mommy.
Oh, is that directed to you?
Yeah, that's directed
Oh, that's-
towards me. My
that's-
mom's trying to start drama. We got in a big fight.
You and your mom are beefing.
But you don't create
That's your mom?
content.
No, I don't. Create.
That is.
She's talking
let's
about
move
Maddie.
on.
Your
Can we
mother
actually move
posted
on?
that?
Yeah.
Yes. Can we move on?
Yeah, my mom
Seriously.
is very
Seriously.
That cool.
Huh.
These
'Kay,
chicks
yeah.
live life on easy mode. Actually, that's what I was gonna say with the $300,000 thing. 100K. Some guys don't even make that per year. It took me 10 plus years to get to 400K a year in salary, and this chick is 19. How the f can men respect you?
I don't know if life's.
Okay.
I actually
Right.
don't think it's easy. Necessarily.
What?
Right, you've talked about all these. Well, she just went away, but all these like awful things you have to put up with, like stalkers and weirdos, and you're producing all that. I actually don't think it's that easy, and
not.
and it comes with all sorts of emotional.
Mentally,
baggage
it's
that-
not.
Yeah. So I actually don't.
I think like the
I think you pay for it in the end.
You do.
Oh.
Costines donated
Okay.
$207.
There we go.
Ladies of the panel, you should have families if not just to propagate your beautiful genes. Men need to propagate the patriarchy. Smiles start now in a new skill.
Wow. Okay.
Lovely way to say that.
Thank you, Pico Steins. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, to some degree, though. I mean, I know you were mentioning the content and what comes with it. But I mean, if we were to do when we're talking about easy, I think perhaps this chatter, whatever fan, he said, comparatively speaking, I don't think there's a lot of 18-year-old men that can finesse money out of middle-aged women to the there's not like a corresponding thing where 18-year-old men can make that level of money sort of almost by virtue of just being. Who keeps dropping their hello?
I don't know why.
Gravity, probably.
It keeps leaping out of the chair. No, that's true. 18-year-old men can't do it for sure.
Yeah.
But
I have to disagree. I think there are men
my goodness.
that
Okay.
that
Because
are
of-
able to.
because of
There's,
homosexual
I've met men that are like 18 and they're really like secured in their bag.
Is not middle-aged women buying that content though? Or you're just saying 18-year-old men can make money other ways?
Yeah, they're
Like
that they're
Bitcoin or
yeah.
something.
Well, if they wanted invest in Bitcoin and stuff. But I'm just saying there are men that are young that are able to.
That's true. My associate
Make a
producer
lot of money.
Jacob, who's over there, he's like 12 years old, and that kid that kid's bought 2 Camaros in the last like month.
Is this true, Jacob?
Paying him too much.
2 Camaros.
It's because he keeps crashing and blowing them up, so he has to get new ones.
Hit me up,
Yeah.
Jacob.
He caught,
For real.
I got more of a Mustang vibe from Jacob.
Yeah, I got more of like a Mazda Miata vibe from him the first time I met him. But
What about like a Pontiac Firebird?
yeah,
Or
like a
something
like
like
a Pontiac vibe.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like your piercing.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's hot.
Cool story. Okay, we have Eric here. Thank you, Eric. Really appreciate your message. Welcome back, Michael. You give great advice. What cigar do you have today? I hope it is an Lewinsky special. Brian, thanks for the great guess. Keep doing your thing. Hey, Eric, thank you. What
Thanks,
is the
man. Funny you
cigar?
ask. It's not a Lewinsky special, I'm pleased to announce. It's a Mayflower Dusk cigar, a beautiful Ecuador Habano wrapper with a Sumatra binder and Nicaraguan filler, rolled on the thighs of virgins.
Whoa.
I tried to go down to the factory when we were finally in the last stages of producing it. I was held up by the government of the country that is producing them, so we had to reroute, but all's well that ends well, and they are live again for pre-sale. After months of anticipation, the largest cigar launch, I think, in the history of tobacco.
Boom.
MayflowerCigars.com. You have to be 21 years or
pull
older
it back
to
up
order.
really quick.
Some exclusions apply.
I have a question. Do
You've practiced that, huh?
Do you know that? Do you know that
That was
meme?
pretty good.
Do you know the meme where it compares like? Do you know the meme where it compares women who take like photos of their legs while they're laying at the beach? Compares it to hot dogs. You guys should do a campaign. Because, I mean, that photo looked like you could do, like, is it a Mayflower cigar or women's leg or hot dog?
Yeah.
I can be part of that if you want to.
Are you saying you have hot dog?
I have very hot dog legs. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you say you wanted to promote the cigar?
I do want to promote the cigar. Also, quick question.
Thank you, AB Check. Appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted 20 memberships. Go ahead with your
Michael,
question.
can we smoke a cigar together after this?
I would love to. I would love nothing more. We should do it here during the
Can
show.
you spark up right now?
Can we light up a cigar?
Can we spark up?
Unfortunately,
Spark up.
I rent.
Huh?
We can
I rent,
ventilate.
and my landlord would
Political
evict
correctness.
me.
Oh, please,
Welcome to
landlord.
California.
Yeah, apparently,
Welcome to
yeah.
California. Yes, I would likely get evicted. So unfortunately, we cannot smoke here, but outside we can. All right, where were we? I'm trying to think where we were. We hit sugar. I think everybody the sugar daddy thing. What
We
about-
hit the sugar. Okay.
Oh, Cindy, what? So is that what was the thing that you had? You were gonna.
Spit in his mouth, I believe.
Yeah, he's paying me to spit in his mouth.
That's fucking disgusting.
But he already paid her.
Yeah. So you
Y'all
don't
wouldn't
even
do that
have
for
to do
10
this.
grand?
I have to do it.
Huh?
Yeah.
For 10 grand, you
If
wouldn't do
someone
that, Brian.
offered you 10K to spit on them, you're telling me you'd say no.
I would say no.
If I offered you 10
Okay,
grand,
maybe at
Brian,
this
I was
point
like,
in your
spit
life,
in my mouth for
maybe at this point in your
$10,000,
life,
you
but
wouldn't do
as
it?
a 20-year-old, as a broke 20-year-old, and someone said,
You
Yo,
make a good point.
I would have been
yo,
tempted to do it.
here, 10K, spit. You'd say, yeah.
I would have been tempted to say something like that. That's true.
Yeah.
But it is
Exactly.
kind of, it's disgusting, right?
It's
you were
disgusting.
disgusted by it.
They're not spitting in your mouth.
But even you doing it, I don't know. It's
Honestly,
Shit.
if they offer to spit in my mouth for 10K, I'm fucking doing it.
Yeah, me too. What?
I don't do this
Me
work, and
too.
I would spit on someone
Seriously.
so many times for 10K.
I would.
I would spit on
People even
Any
offer
part
to
of your
pay
body.
for my farts.
What?
In a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that
That's
too.
crazy.
I would do that too.
Or like my
water.
gym socks.
Or like
Yeah.
shitting on,
Underwear.
shitting on someone.
Excuse me?
People have literally
That's some
offered to
Dubai
pay
shit.
to
No,
pay
no,
my
dead ass,
farts.
like they want you to shit on them.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, all right.
men are
What is
weird.
going
Men are
on
weird.
tonight?
It's y'all
fucking weird.
species.
You know what?
y'all.
She's not totally wrong.
It is
Like,
our
Come on,
species.
like,
That
y'all
is
understand
wrong.
it more than we do.
I
We're just making money off of it.
Yeah.
I blame these degenerate men who like throw obscene amounts of money.
I also blame the women though. Here, I'm very not
think we're
judgy.
both
you
to
know,
blame.
yeah, right.
We're
like
bo-
if you're,
okay,
if
we'll
a
be
man,
fair. We're both to blame.
If a man has that desire for whatever reason, like a charitable woman would not encourage it, right? You say like, yo, man, you do the Michael
Whoa.
Jordan. You just be like,
Whoa,
yo,
whoa,
man,
whoa, whoa.
like get some help. Go to, you know what? You don't need
You
me.
wouldn't
you
look
need a
at someone.
psychiatrist.
You wouldn't
and a-
look at someone who said, "Here's 10K if you spit on me," and say, "You need some help." You'd say,
I think at least today. Look, I hope that when I was broke in 20, I hope I would say no, thank you, sir. But certainly today, Certainly today, I do not need $10,000 that bad that I'm going to spit on a guy or sell any of these things.
And
I
that's,
guess-
I would say, sir,
And
I would
that's
give
okay.
that guy money. I'd say, sir, here's bus
You-
fare to go
you
to the
would.
psychiatrist.
You
And
would?
Yes.
that's crazy.
I guess we're
bus
not
fare is like
charitable.
$2, you know.
I guess we're a capitalist.
Yes, and there are problems with capitalism, man. There are like big problems because it ultimately degrades to treat people like commodities, and it degrades people to the point that everything becomes about material and money, and dudes are paying you $10,000 to spit in their face.
Well, if it's a specific kink, like, and not everyone will act that out for them or like get with it.
What's
Sorry,
that?
My mom's calling me.
Why?
Yeah, shouldn't they just like
Who
keep that to
knows?
themselves?
No, because
They should
it's up
indulge
to
it.
us as, I mean, sex workers to say yes, we're comfortable with that, or no, we're not comfortable with that. I think like there's nothing wrong with their kinks and asking.
But
I
think
put a
we-
lot of blame on men, to be honest, on this one. I mean, like, the thing is, look, I personally don't get it
I don't-
because I think it's the parasocial, like, you actually get to communicate with these girls, although even to what end? These girls don't respect you. They're never going to date you. They're never going to, I mean, unless they're actual prostitutes, they're never going to actually be romantically involved with you. So I get that there's like the girlfriend experience. They get to actually chat with you, which even that's dubious because a lot of you have typers in Bangladesh who are typing while you're off at
Do you
fucking
have
nightclub.
Bangladesh?
Hold on,
I
no, no, no,
disagree
no, no,
with
no, hold on, hold on.
everything you're
Hold
saying
on.
right now.
Let me
Actually,
just
yeah.
finish.
Completely
Let me just
disagree
finish.
with
What I
everything
don't
you're
get
saying.
though,
I
if it's
disagree.
strictly about them viewing your pornographic content, that's what really confuses me, bamboozles me, is the immense amount of free pornography that's available. How room temperature IQ do you have to be with the
I think the
dearth?
same thing
Is
every
dearth
day.
the right word here? I don't know.
I literally think
there's
the
so
same thing
much
every day.
fucking free porn. Why are you paying for it?
Because it's obviously not about the
Because
it's
not
about
about
the
the porn.
person.
It's
about the
about the
relationship.
person.
No,
it's
it's
about
not
the
about the-
person.
It's about the
It's about the
relationship
person
with your male. A lot of these typer dudes.
Bangladeshi.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's
you
not
can't
fair to make
speak-
that
Typers.
assumption
Yeah,
for everybody.
you
Like, I don't
can't-
have
yeah,
chatters.
you can't say
I
that
talk to
for
all my
everyone.
friends.
But let me ask you a
Yeah,
question.
me
Just
too.
the same thing with these girls who do OnlyFans who have boyfriends. They wouldn't admit if they did. So if you did have a typer, you wouldn't come on here and say, by the way, I have a typer. We've had I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but yes, girls who say they don't have a typer, who say they respond to all the messages, have typers.
Well, it's not the case for everyone, so I just want to make
A
that
lot of-
distinction.
I'm not saying all of them,
I think
but
it's
like
morally wrong.
most of them have a typer. And
A
I do
lot of
think
girls,
I
like,
actually
refuse
object
to do that, and
That's
they
fine.
wanna do it on
but
their own.
I do actually I object to it more than the nude content. Women who are misrepresenting the degree to which they're going to have a fan interaction. It's essentially fraud and misrepresentation.
I agree.
It
If
is
you
fraud.
state that I'm the one talking to you, but in actuality, it's some manager, a
agree.
male manager.
But if you're the dude, what do you care? It's just a text coming through from your like weird addiction.
Yeah,
to
it's
a,
just getting you off.
Yeah.
If it works, then it works. If
Who
it's a
cares?
man
Well,
being
if
But I
like,
think
Bangladeshi guys are the same
morally,
as
I
you
think
for that
that's wrong.
purpose, right?
If you are saying
Right.
specifically, I do not have a chatter, but you have a chatter, I think that's morally wrong because they're paying for a subscription to talk
not
to
even
you.
well if you it's not even that you say you don't have a chatter but you do. It's most OnlyFans people wouldn't frame it like that. They would say personalized texting, you're messaging me, but they actually have a typer. I know this is a bit
that
semantics.
says the same
but
thing though. I'm saying
yeah,
like
well,
if they're
essentially,
saying
but
I'm
it's a bit
talking to you
different.
and they're not, I think that's morally wrong. And I'll say that
Well,
as a
I
content
also
creator
you could
myself.
also actually make the case that it's actually civil fraud. I don't know if it reaches if it's actually criminal fraud, but it's certainly civil fraud.
But if
Well,
you're the
something we
dude,
agree
you'd
on
be
in
so
that.
embarrassed
I
to bring
disagree
that
though
to
that you said that we don't respect our followers. I completely disagree with that. I actually had like cool dudes that subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Well,
you
in a romantic
don't.
Yes, I do.
You might
100%.
believe that. I'm not even convinced you do believe that, but you do
No.
not have a single cool dude subscribed
I do
to you.
actually.
Yes.
They are all
I like actually do.
huge losers. They are.
Well, you can
'Cause it's
say
a-
that.
Oh,
shit.
They are. They are.
Michael,
Look, it's not because you're a
You
very
said
pretty and lovely
Michael.
gal, but it's if you're subscribing to this stuff, you are so deeply pathetic.
That is
Okay,
your
I have a
opinion. I can say
question.
the
But my
same thing
opinion
about
happens to be
you.
correct.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on a site like Fans, Pornhub? Have you ever subscribed to anyone's account at any
I have
point in
not.
your life before you were
No.
married?
Maybe it's just because I'm too cheap. I would never look for all. I'm
Okay, that's
not
valid.
saying I'm
That's
like Mr.
valid.
Perfect. I've done plenty of terrible things.
That's valid.
I would never. To your point, Brian. You know, there's plenty
So
of
have
free
you?
porn out there.
Have you?
Nope.
Like straight up, have you ever paid for someone's page on OnlyFans,
I'll tell you
Pornhub,
this.
anything?
I'll tell you this. Actually, I don't want to expose any of the girls on the show. We recently did see girls. I did have somebody on my behalf because she was really claiming that she responds to all the messages. So during the show, I had someone pay for her only. It was like $10 and send her a message. Unfortunately, we didn't.
You just totally outed the girl.
No, that's a lie.
What?
Because you subscribed to mine.
Huh? You're a fucking liar.
I saw on,
And
on the statements your name, Brian Atlas.
You're literally a liar.
Oh.
I'm not. The at literally says Brian.
Let's see the receipts.
You're literally slandering me right now because no, I didn't.
Receipts.
Receipts.
What's the email address?
Receipts.
Pull it up.
No.
Receipts.
It doesn't tell you that.
Wait,
It says your name.
Do you have
your full
a free
name.
one? Was
Okay,
it your
wait.
free one?
Oh.
Do you have a free one?
Oh, so he
there are
really
free
I
ones?
do put
He
free
really
promotions.
knows.
Are you
He
okay?
really
So this
knows.
is no because it's sometimes we'll look at the girls from the whatever fans account.
On their
We'll
free
look at for like intel in the same way that we look at your Twitters and we
Intel.
Intel.
no literally
They
intel.
sit in a circle and look for
Intel.
intel.
But this is
Oh. So he does.
so what's the first off I'm fairly confident we didn't even look at yours though.
I saw in my statements. This is your first and last name.
I mean,
Wow.
what email? Pull
On
it up
only-
right now.
no, on
Look it up.
OnlyFans.
No,
On
because,
only-
But on you don't see the email. You just see a username.
Yeah.
You can't
You don't-
see
you
an
can't-
email.
okay,
That's
so
too much
I'm sure
information.
some of you have
Isn't there, like,
Donald
fan
Trump who have
confidentiality?
subscribed.
Okay,
to
so
you.
just say someone cared
I
enough to
don't know. I
make a
think a
fake
lot of
name that was
ethics
your
are out the
name.
But
window.
how am I supposed to
But
prove
it could
that
be
somebody,
you.
like,
You don't have to
I
prove
don't-
it, but
I don't.
you know.
okay, this is
Yeah.
You don't owe anyone anything.
No.
If it wasn't you, it wasn't you.
Yeah, if it wasn't
Then
you, it
can
wasn't
say
you.
that.
If it was
It
someone else,
wasn't.
oh, okay, then
It
it wasn't. It wasn't.
What is a free fans? Isn't the whole point that you pay money?
well, there's like free ones,
No.
but
There's different strategies. I mean, if you're going for a free page or a paid page, just
Usually when
depends.
people have free pages, it's like a little tease to get you to subscribe to their paid fans.
oh, so you
no,
also have to pay.
you can see. Can you see the account? You can see the username for who subscribed.
Stop. Raise
Wait,
your hand if you're
no,
beefing.
no. I want a full like vindication of this accusation. You can look on your OnlyFans and see the username, correct? Mm-hmm. What was the username?
Your name.
Brian Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
There's
So
actually
no.
other Brian
That's what I'm
Atlas.
saying.
I was gonna say, yeah.
What's that?
That doesn't even make sense for whoever just wrote
There's
that.
other
in.
people that have your same
You
name.
know it's like her to do that shit.
But straight up, that doesn't make
Well,
sense.
the only OnlyFans account that is owned is the onlyfans.com/whatever account. So unless it was from that one, which it sounds like it wasn't, then that's an imposter or somebody who shares my first and last name.
What kind of content you post on there?
Oh, I
Are
mean,
you just like,
it's like a
look-
troll page.
Oh, okay.
We don't do any adult content. on
Bummer.
there.
It's
just,
like to investigate.
I would
start.
subscribe.
Literally.
With big labia, women
Oh my
only.
God.
Hey, let's
Okay, all
not
right.
discriminate.
well, I mean,
No,
you
he
did
loves
when you
it.
got your labiaplasty,
I know.
or was that a joke?
No, I'm being dead ass serious.
That is.
September
long ago?
29th, 2022.
You're so disappointed.
2022.
Labia what?
Labiaplasty.
Did that just zoom into your face or something?
No, but it should.
The dramatic back. Well, like my fans like my labia. They've never seen my labia the other way, so.
Cindy also admitted to me after a show that
What?
I almost want to retributively slander you in return.
No.
Okay. Whatever. Let's see.
Exactly. Whatever.
Exactly. Whatever. I have some pre-show notes here I want to get into. Here's a question that was related to. We were talking about income and money. Would you rather be a millionaire entrepreneur, single with no kids at 35, or a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, married to a millionaire at 35?
Stay-at-home mom with 2
It's a
kids.
no-brainer.
Kids,
Wait,
married to a
around the table.
millionaire.
Around the table.
I would rather be a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids,
Stay-at-home mom
married
with
to a
2
millionaire.
kids.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What was the
35?
other option?
That I just read.
Yeah, sorry.
The initial.
Would you rather be a millionaire entrepreneur, single with no kids at 35, or a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids, married to a millionaire at 35?
It depends who my partner is.
Well, you're single.
Whoever you're married to, I guess.
Well,
So
it would
it's
depend who it is.
Say it was a great one.
A great one? I think that's a good option, but I'd also
Not-
like to have my own career.
well. So which of the two, if you had to pick?
by 35.
By 35, I want kids.
Yeah.
So probably good.
Nicolette?
Yeah, personally, I don't want to work. I do not want a career. I would be a stay-at-home mom.
Same as well.
Yeah.
Stay-at-home mom for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Unanimous decision, you guys.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
It's great unanimity.
Michael, what's your answer?
You know, if I had it to do all over again, I guess I'd just have a nice sugar daddy husband, a couple of kids, you know, the millionaire. No, I don't think, because I kind of am like.
That's what I was gonna say. Aren't you that?
I kind of am the guy, and I've got the wife with the 2 kids.
If I found
2
a
and a half.
guy who's younger who like actually made money like that and who I actually with, then yeah, it would be cool. It could work out, but I haven't found that yet.
Not a trick. A guy.
Yeah, like a guy my age,
Not a
and like
trick.
in
Said
his
guy.
20s,
Yeah.
like 25.
I did, Michael, you asked a question which I thought was good, or it was more so of a statement, I think, but it was about how the girls don't really like or respect their subscribers. And I mean, the way I was kind of approaching it was more from from a romantic perspective. I don't think these are ever men that you would actually be romantically involved with.
I would disagree.
You don't know that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like stand by that. Like some of my subs are actually really cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Stopping you from pursuing
Yeah, you said you've
something with
been,
one
if
of
they're
them.
really cool and you're single,
I'm not looking for a
Because
relationship. I
why-
said that off
why-
bat.
why is
Love
that?
doesn't
Right
just
now, I'm not. I don't
quickly
want a
happen all the
relationship right now.
time.
Okay.
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 Does that make sense?
You're not looking for, how old are you again?
25.
25? Okay.
Mhm.
Do you want to get married one day?
I do. Yeah.
Have
one
kids?
Day. Yep.
Okay. I mean, 25, you're still okay, but, you know, it's...
no, not him telling you you're getting up there. Is that what you're trying to say?
Are you
Well,
trying to
that
say
is
I'm
what
getting
he's
old?
Are you trying
Brian?
to say she's getting
I'm
old?
How old are
saying-
you, Brian?
I'm saying
Hold
that-
on. Let me ask you a question. How
I'm-
old are you,
I'm
Brian?
34, but what
Okay.
I'm saying is,
Nice.
I'm saying that
Okay, you saw that too?
Yeah,
You saw that
nice.
too? Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
right.
the difference is that for women, because when it comes to fertility, there is a differential there.
Yeah, I graduated with a physiology degree.
She said I know.
Cool. Cool story. But you're totally disregarding the pursuit of a relationship. Assuming you're actually single.
Assuming you're actually single.
Okay.
So
To your point, I mean, you should get married too.
Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
tables,
Yeah,
the
aren't-
turntables have
Brian,
turned.
we can talk about this after the show.
Yeah.
But I also feel like love relation doesn't just develop. It could take a year for you guys to actually, be in a relationship, and you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you gotta get
it's
started.
not like,
And I disagree with the whole I disrespect my fans or followers on thing. Like, that is not true at all. Like, I have respect for y'all, for sure.
You say that publicly, but I suspect privately you have some degree of contempt.
I don't think it's possible for you. I mean, I understand why you would say it because that's kind of the show. But I don't think it's possible for you to respect them because they're not worthy of respect at all. I mean, they're doing a very degrading thing.
That's your opinion.
That's so wild.
But
of
you
to
all
say.
agree
Right
with me.
now.
No,
you
I
all
actually
obviously
don't
agree with me,
at
and
all.
publicly you can't say it.
No, I actually don't
Really?
agree with you at
Yeah.
all.
Oh yeah, so then why don't you go on dates with all these marvelous men?
Because
I
I'm not
just
dating.
said I'm not dating right
dating.
now.
I don't want to
Wait.
date y'all.
Right, I wouldn't date them either if
I'm not
that was
dating
the
in
opportunity.
general.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're a follower of my OnlyFans
I
or
would
not,
say
I'm not dating.
taking fans out of it's like, okay, I'm not saying I'm famous, but like a famous person dating someone that's not famous is completely not weird. You know what I mean? A fan of theirs. That's not weird. I don't think that's
the
weird.
issue with them isn't that they're obscure. The issue with them is they're exalting you as their object of desire while they pleasure themselves to pornography. That's what makes it.
That's
Love it.
that's
You
hot.
don't.
She said that's
you
hot.
don't really think that.
I do think that. I met
No.
a bunch of them this past week, and they're so awesome. And I
Where'd
really
you
do
meet
Right,
them?
your job requires you to say
AVN.
nice things about them.
Oh, you went to that? How was it?
It's awesome.
Did you,
I have some
did
friends
you
that
see
went to
Stella
that.
Berry?
Yeah.
I didn't see Stella.
I love her.
Me too.
She's so good.
Who
Stella Berry.
is she? Does
She's
she
was
come on the whatever show?
nominated.
She was.
Yeah.
She was
She's
nominated.
anal princess.
Yeah.
How could I?
But
forget?
she's very just normal. She's very down to earth, normal. You should look her
She
up.
was dating
or
one of-
maybe
she
don't.
was-
I don't know.
She was dating one of her fans. He lived in a homeless shelter, and they dated for 3 years, and they just broke up a few months ago, I think.
Had they gotten married, that might have been a good counter argument to to my point.
No, yeah, I know. They didn't.
They didn't.
Okay. We have Poopy's. I got to read a couple of these. Poopy's mom. Raise your hand if you're beefing with your mom because she got tired of you and your friend treating her like a trick. So you moved across the country last week? Okay, well, I'm not going to.
Wait, can I say something? Hey, Mom, didn't you go to jail for fraud?
Is this actually your mom?
That's actually my mom.
God damn. Okay. Good.
She's about to reverse those
What
charges.
is going on with the? Oh my God.
Hey, Mom, don't you make a living out of an illegal
No.
business?
Okay. All right. Let's. I don't know what's going on here. What? Okay. And then there was Nick. Hey Mia, since you're single, will you date me? I think I fall in love. How beautiful and mature. Being on OF, you're too sweet, and I would love to get to know you more. I'm a fan.
Who said what? What'd they say?
Huh?
I prefer not to answer that one.
Oh.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. There's some meta things going on here with the. Okay. So I'm trying to recall where we were. We were going around the table on something. I think everyone answered though. So I have some pre-show notes from you guys. Naomi Lynn, you said the only pre-show you provided was you're dating athletes.
Mm-hmm.
NFL?
Yeah. My last ex.
NBA?
Yeah. But I was like more casual.
NHL? Any
No.
hockey players?
Mm-mm.
You stick to the NBA and
Mostly
NFL?
like football. Yeah. I like
How many
football
NFL players have you dated?
3-ish.
What teams?
Multiply by
I would prefer
that's
not
the
to
real
disclose that information.
Was it Travis Kelce?
No, I wish. Sorry. Actually, sorry. I respect Taylor Swift. My bad.
And
I don't like to talk about people.
NBA players too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was an athlete I cheered in college, so I just knew a lot of athletes already. So I was
I'm
just
glad
like, in
that you
circle.
revised that sentence there. Okay.
Oh.
No, sorry, shots fired.
Well, we were in athletics. We were treated like athletics.
You
we got
also-
everything that they did. So I mean.
Gotcha. And I saw that you also. That doesn't matter. Let's see. We have Mia Huffman. Did you date Future?
No.
Why do I have
what?
that in my notes?
I'll go by that. I'll go by that. That
Say
works.
yeah, for sure.
I did, yeah.
Was it a tweet? Something about Future?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
What is Future?
The rapper.
The rapper. Yeah.
That'd be fire.
Wait,
though.
always on his
Mia.
chat, guys.
Toxic King.
So, I think you made this disclosure on another podcast. Was there something about a frat that you can tell us? And you've shared the story on other podcasts.
It's semi-public. There's not a story. There's multiple stories.
Tell us the multiple stories.
I used to go to Cal Poly Pomona. I was a little frat rat, I guess. I was in Zeta Tau Alpha. Sorry,
Wait,
Zetas.
what's
Fuck
a
you
frat
guys.
rat?
Frat rat, like I loved one frat.
You had sexual intercourse with
like not the whole
most-
frat. No,
Oh,
not the
like
whole frat.
70%?
No.
Okay.
Like a small percentage, but I was just always at the frat house. I was always just having fun, always at parties. I was 18. But yeah, I just really loved the frat. I was more hardcore about the frat than I was my sorority.
Were you? Oh, you were in the sorority?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what were some of the stories that you had from the frats?
Just being walked in a lot
Walked in
on.
by like the whole frat?
No, just like
Large groups of the frat?
like a few people at it, like once.
Did they
And they
join
stayed?
after?
No.
And they stayed?
No, they left.
Okay.
That was polite of them.
Yeah, they were very polite. There's not much to say. I was just like always having fun there. I was always drunk, very messy.
And a question for you. There were no frat orgies? Is that?
Nothing that I
Okay.
know of.
You're Catholic, correct?
I was raised Catholic.
Raised Catholic. Are you still Catholic?
I'm starting to go like monthly with my mom.
Nice. All right. That's great.
Yeah,
Reading the
but
Bible.
you did say also in your notes to us previously that you've learned to support polyamorous relationships
Yes.
while being Catholic because of the dynamic that is becoming modern day dating. That seems a bit contradictory to the Catholic faith.
I think
And-
so. We talked about it last time. I'd
Sure.
say I definitely learned that obviously nowadays there's a lot of hookup culture, and you guys actually asked them about the hookup culture, not me. I don't engage in it myself, but I have learned to accept like that's the reality. Like younger girls or just anybody, we're all like we're young, we have sexual drives. People are having those like polyamorous technical relationships where they're with multiple people. So I've learned to just kind of, not that I hate on it at all. I don't hate on it. I understand that's just kind of what sexual drive is, especially nowadays. So that's where I come into term where I don't chastise it and say like, oh, that's terrible, they cannot do that, they're terrible people, they're ultimate sinners. They're not. Like, they are sinners, but they're human. It's human nature nowadays.
No, that's not.
So,
there's nothing radical.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
it's nothing radical. It's just I simply accept it. Like, that's just how dynamics.
But you say
are.
it's not for me.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm.
And you wouldn't. You say it's not good, but it's but it's the fallen world. That's how it works.
I don't feel like good and bad is ever like a good. There's not a correct.
Did you catch that?
I know.
Yeah.
There's not a correct way to quantify like good or bad anymore nowadays, especially in 2024.
When did that change?
I think it's changed as we've all gotten older. Like, obviously, we're almost all in the same age group. I just think that...
No, but you said in 2024.
In 2024, there's just so many changes. There's, aside from just having Tinder back in the day, which was like 6 years ago, I think is when it started, now there's multiple other apps. There's Raya, for instance. There's all these other things. There's so much that's going on and changing in our relationship developments and social developments. So you can't really have those radical...
But that changes good and bad, or it just changes how society
I mean,
functions?
I think we were all brought up in a way of like, don't talk to people on the internet. You don't know who these people are. And now it's like, we
It's
all
safe now.
meet
It's
from the
safe
internet.
now,
We're
yeah.
all here right now from the
From the
internet.
internet.
So it's just like,
We're on the internet right now.
there's
It's
good and
beautiful.
bad that comes
It
with
is
it.
beautiful,
So
Ryan.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
but
beautiful thing.
you wouldn't want like when we all meet on the internet here, it's through like a producer with a show that we can look up. We know it's relatively safe, whatever. Whereas still, that old advice of like don't meet up with people randos you meet on the internet.
But we didn't know this was safe. What if we were just getting tricked into coming on a podcast and
With this psycho, yeah, fair enough.
You know?
I guess that's true.
Like
You're
anything
right.
could happen.
No, you're right.
Like
you're right.
Anything
it's
could
just
happen.
like really these days that's how a lot of people meet. Like that's how a lot of jobs happen. That's how a lot of like money's made. Like that's the internet has really changed the world that we live in.
Yeah, but it doesn't change like the morality of like polycules or whatever we were just talking about.
I was just saying
right?
like bad and good. It's not that those have exactly changed. It's just we've all inched into, we can go meet somebody on the internet on Tinder, or we can meet somebody on Instagram and DM each other and say, we're going to do a podcast today.
I mean, she met her ex-fiance on, what was it?
Tinder.
Yeah.
But that was a bad choice.
Yeah, there you go. That's not a
Didn't work
recommendation.
out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't work out.
I feel like
Speaking... go ahead, Cindy. Go ahead.
My neighbor met each other on Tinder, and they're still together. I feel like it's very specific the person,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
experiences, and if you had a bad experience, I can understand why you wouldn't like. You know what I mean? Like if a guy's sliding your Instagram DM and you had a bad experience, you're like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna find
Word.
anybody on Instagram DM or
Word.
on TikTok or whatever.
Yep.
But
True.
just very
True.